All right, here we go. Game. Welcome back to VladTV.
Welcome back, man.
I mean, you go back 20 years.
Yeah.
20 years. So it's always great when we get together like this. Well, we have a lot to talk about today. And you don't even know what I'm going to ask you.
No idea.
No idea.
I don't even know why I'm here. It's just
you don't even know why you're here. So we got a lot to talk about.
Say Vlad, I pop up. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm going to start it this way. It's a little different than what I've ever done before. I feel like you're the king of rap beefs. You have beefed with everyone, from the biggest artists to the underground artists. You're still here. You've gone bar for bar with the greats. So I want to basically go through all the major rap beefs.
Right.
From this year all the way back to 1987.
That's crazy.
And I want you to rate each one, who you feel the winner is. If you don't feel there's really a winner, you could say that, but how you would basically rate each of these rap beefs. So let's start with right now and work our way back. You like this, right?
Yeah.
You like this?
You're trying to start 100 new beefs.
Right. No, we're not going to start it. These are existing. These are, most of them have been worked out, but
good,
whatever.
Man. You got the right guy today.
I got the right guy. Megan Thee Stallion versus Nicki Minaj.
Megan Thee Stallion versus Nicki Minaj. Do I go in detail or do I just...
How do you feel about this particular beef? Because you got, Megan had Hiss and Nicki had Bigfoot.
I like Bigfoot.
Okay.
You know what? I like that. I like when she said, get on the gut foot. I thought that was like a good punchline. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because Megan got shot in the foot.
Exactly. Or did she? Or did she not?
I think she did, but
I don't know. I mean, I wasn't there. Neither were you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I didn't, I don't remember what Megan's was called, but I definitely told...
Hiss.
Huh?
Hiss.
It was called Hiss. Oh yeah, I did hear that. But I can't really remember it. But I do
she
remember.
She had this one bar though. She had this one bar. She said, "These hoes, they ain't scared of Megan. These hoes scared of Megan's Law." And Megan's Law is the registered sex offender.
Yeah, but
thing.
See, the thing about Megan's Law is didn't that offend somebody or something?
Well, it offended the parents of the girl Megan. It was named after a girl who got molested.
That's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
But again, when Nicki gave the bar, get on the good foot, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't offensive to anybody except Megan. I feel like in rap beefs, if you can keep it about the person, that it kind of gives you an edge. So I mean, okay. I gotta give that one to Nicki.
Okay, so Nicki won that rap beef.
Yeah.
Okay. Eminem versus Machine Gun Kelly, 2018.
You know what? People get mad, you know what I'm saying, when you say shit about Eminem or you talk about Eminem, but I mean, I gotta get that to Machine Gun Kelly. I didn't really. You know what's crazy is I didn't think, I don't know, man. I feel like the old Eminem was just deadly, and I feel like this Eminem is so like the Eminem now is just a legendary guy. You know, he's one of the best rappers in the world. You know what I'm saying, ever. But skill-wise now, the ability to compete right now and compete back then when he had the beef with Machine Gun Kelly, I just don't feel like, you know what I'm saying, he filled the glass. I feel like Machine Gun Kelly came out of nowhere with a dope ass, with the kill shot shit, and was actually lyrically crazy on that motherfucker. And Machine Gun Kelly can actually really fucking rap. You know what I'm saying? Aside from, what he's doing outside of rap music and the punk rock and doing what he's doing, that's, his business. But as far as rap, I mean, you got a white kid from Cleveland, you know what I'm saying? The hood, he go for what he go for. So Eminem, same way from Detroit. Seems like all his homies is black, you know what I'm saying? So we get it. But in that particular beef, man, I gotta get that one to Machine Gun Kelly.
All right, because Eminem was on your first album.
He was.
And you were actually in Detroit when he recorded it.
Yeah.
Remember, we talked about it last time. He writes sort of in a circle
Yeah.
almost. Since that time, you guys haven't done any music together, but did you run into each other, conversations, anything?
Nah, I haven't seen Eminem since then.
Damn, that was
2004.
Four?
So, yeah, 20 years.
20 years.
Yeah.
That's interesting because you've been around Dre and... there's
Dre is from California, and you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Dre lived down the street, you know what I'm saying? Eminem still lives in Detroit, and I don't know if he has a house here.
He don't really move around like that, it seems. I think he's kind of a homebody.
Right, I think if he goes somewhere, it's to the Super Bowl or some shit, you know what I'm saying?
There's a big check involved.
Right, exactly. So yeah, man, but yeah, we're going to get out on a Machine Gun Kelly.
Okay, that's going to upset a lot of people, but that's good.
And you know what? People might not really agree with what I'm doing or what I'm saying about beefs, but I am really a rap veteran. And a beef, I might be at the top of the top as far as beef. So when I judge something or when I say something, it's not like I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like you are the expert in hip hop
right.
when it comes to beef in terms of playing time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You were on the court longer in this arena than anybody else consistently.
Yeah, I would think so. I would think I've been beefing since about like 2003. I'm still here. I'm alive. I'm well. You know, I personally don't feel like I've lost a beef. You know what I'm saying? You know, and again, I hate to, you know, play into the part of like Biggie and Tupac's demises, but that could have been me. You know what I'm saying? That could have been 50. That could have been anybody I beef with. I think that I always, you know, think it out. And then once I'm in it, I kind of just, I'm going like, I'm damn near, like when I got in hip hop, I thought that when you beef, like you go, it was to the death. I didn't, because Biggie and Pac had died and I was not involved in hip hop when they were beefing. So I thought when you beef, you know, it was play, it was fights, it was on when you saw each other, and that's how I came in hip hop. So when it was time for me to beef, I already knew that it could be on wax and off wax, and I was prepared for both. So I'm definitely educated in the field.
Also in 2018, Drake versus Pusha T.
You know,
and of course, Pusha T had the story of Adidon.
Yeah, so this is where it gets a little tricky for me, right? Because I'm good friends with Pusha, and I'm also homies with Drake. You know what I'm saying? And
you guys have music together.
Drake is like a brother to me. You know what I'm saying? And so when they had that beef, I feel like whoever funneled the information about Drake's, you know, having a kid that he didn't want out there, gave Pusha edge. Now Push can rap like a motherfucker, but then Drake is the like rap Michael Jackson. So it's like you can beef with Drake, and lyrically I feel like Pusha did his thing, but I feel like you beef with Drake, you don't win no matter what you do. So it's like that one gets tricky for me because it's like I feel like I know Pusha's pen, like Pusha can push the pen. He has never failed me in my ears as far as a listener when it comes to, you know, rap shit. The edge, him talking about, you know, Drake's son before we even knew about it. I thought that like in beef, you know, in a rap beef, that was clever. That was dope. And, you know, I gave him props for that. I give him props for that in this judgmental, you know, thing that we're doing. But Drake, I feel like can't lose a beef. Where does he lose? I just don't feel like he loses. It's Drake.
I kind of feel like he lost that one.
Yeah.
And I'm a Drake fan.
Yeah.
I've been saying this. I'm a big Drake fan. I'm a Pusha fan as well. But that one there, because you got to think like it's not just the record itself, but there's a lot more. So for example, there's the cover where he found the picture of Drake in the blackface.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I mean, that was cool, but I don't think that for me, it just didn't play a part in like, you know, who won or who lost. I feel like Push, I feel like if Push is in that beef with anybody else, he annihilates him. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like Drake can't lose a beef, man. It's Drake. Like, and the whole thing with a beef is to make people and fans across the board not fuck with you anymore. You know what I'm saying? Or at least for a while. I mean, think about it. Like, even Ja in 50, you know what I'm saying? Which we'll get into. Like, when 50 did Ja, like, everybody was off Murder Inc. Not just Ja, but the whole Murder Inc.
Right. It became a verb. Right. You got Ja ruled.
Exactly.
A verb.
Or me with you know, with G Unit. I mean, motherfuckers stopped wearing the shoes. Stop wearing, like, Mark Echo and G Unit. That deal, those clothes just disappeared, man. Because I came with G Unit. So it's like, you know, you gotta factor in, like, you know, these moments where it has to like almost end a career. You know what I'm saying? So if Drake can't be ended, how do you lose a beef? And so like let me take it a step further, right? If you can't be right, and I can, and I'm like shooting at you, and I got all these motherfucking, I'm shooting at you, but you just won't die, right? But I'm able to be right?
Yeah.
And so if you shoot at me, I probably, like, you take a really good shot at me, I die. But if I keep shooting at you and you just won't die, I mean, who wins? Do you lose?
No, I feel you, because in this particular one, Drake had little lines here and there, but he never fully responded to Pusha. This is why I was considering not even putting this one on here, but I'm like, ooh, the Pusha song was so strong, I have to just put it in here.
Well, here's another, from a beef expert, right? Sometimes no response is a response.
True.
Like Hove, has won many beefs by not responding. And then he'll give you one simple, subtle, you know what I'm saying, line that, you know, it like 3, 4, 5 years later, it'll be one word or one line, and then you get that way, like later on. So, I mean, sometimes not responding is a response.
Well, you talked about how you found out that they're trying to set up Drake in LA at one point. What exactly was that about?
That was about like him and Diddy were beefing, right? They had a little beef over something in Miami outside of Live.
I think Diddy allegedly assaulted him or something. I think it was over the Start from the Bottom beat, where I guess it's supposed to go to Diddy and Drake took it and something silly like that.
Yeah, I mean, when I think about Started from the Bottom, I don't know what Diddy would have did with that beat.
I know.
It's like a Drake beat. But there were like calls, you know, going around LA, and it was like, you know, Drake here, Drake there, who will run up on him. I'm not saying it, you know, it didn't come from Diddy directly, but LA get tricky. So, you know, when there are beefs and they are here, no matter who it is, like there's certain people that are gonna get called, and I'm one of those people. So, you know, I had privy, you know, Drake to a little information. Like I said, I don't know where it came from, but I always, you know, it's like my brother. So I hit him. I told him like, yo, this is what it is, but I got you. You know, we over here, and I'm pretty heavy. So, you know, we straight.
Remy Ma versus Nicki Minaj.
Yeah. So again, we're at one of those things where it's like Queen Nicki, right? Like she is the top of like female MCs. She can rap. She has her own pen. She is Nicki Minaj, right? So it's like hard to defeat that style of that you know, that level high caliber rapper. But I listened to Remy shit and it was hard as fuck. Mm-hmm. And I feel like on Wax that Remy might have got an edge because that shit was grit. She just was like coming out of jail. I don't know how fresh her out of jail stint was at that moment, but I feel like Remy really, I feel like she really did her fucking thing with that. Cause I personally listened to Remy shit repeatedly when it came out, and I was just like, and I was thirsty for like good rap at that time, you know what I'm saying? And dope shit. And so she dropped that and I just felt like, oh shit, Nicki gotta fucking like get with this shit immediately because this is fucking dope. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Remy's pen is tough.
It's crazy.
It's always been like this. And she did just get out of jail. And I remember reading about it, how it, you know, because Nicki wasn't really dissing her. I mean, I actually even brought her up. I think she even shouted out, I think my first and only interview with Nicki, I think she shouted out Remy during that time. But there was a little bit, female rappers are always kind of funny. You know, now, because, you know, for example, now Lotto and Ice Spice are kind of going at it. I didn't include them in the list. Yeah, there's a little subtle shots going back and forth. I didn't include it because there's no obvious diss records yet.
They should fight with their asses. Just, you know what I'm saying? Run into each other backwards till somebody pass out.
Natural versus BBL?
Yeah. Is it? I don't know who's natural, who got a BBL.
Lotto got the BBL. Ice Spice looks natural.
Okay, all right. Looks, or you notice?
Well, I don't know personally. I've never touched it.
Cool. I mean,
I can't tell you 100%, but based on how Ice Spice just looks overall, she looks natural.
Yeah.
And Lotto admitted to having plastic surgery, so.
Oh, well, that's cool. That. I mean, again, man.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, it ain't nothing wrong with if people want to make personal enhancements for themselves. Cool. I prefer natural, but that's just me. And I'm not like Lotto's nigga, so I mean, you know, it's all good.
Shout out to 21 Savage.
Yeah, allegedly. Hey, man, 21.
Allegedly, that's
21. I fuck with 21.
Drake versus Meek Mill.
Drake won that.
Yeah, I agree.
And Meek, you know what I'm saying? Me and Meek cool, you know what I'm saying? And I talk to Meek, we be on the phone, we playing Call of Duty and shit, and even after our beef. It's always cool if you're an adult enough and man enough to squash it before it gets, you know, kind of crazy. And Meek wanted to be out in LA and come out, you know, and just be comfortable out here and didn't want to, you know, beef with, you know, one of the niggas out here that's really out here running this shit. So, you know, we decided it was in our best interest to, you know, do away with it. He went to jail, and when he got out, I was like, I was mad as fuck before he went to jail, but then I don't want to see nobody go to jail, you know what I'm saying? So he got out, he was on a different type of time, and time had passed, so I was like, you know, do away with that. But back-to-back alone.
Yeah.
Like, I was in Paris, and back-to-back drop, and I was in my fucking suite, you know, on whatever floor, like with a view of the Eiffel Tower, like up high as shit, And I remember listening to that, and I had a concert later on that day, and I just kept playing it back to back. And it was no competition in that one. You know what I'm saying? Like none.
Yeah, that was a slaughter.
And that's the type of shit that I wanted Drake to do in that Pusha beef. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted that Drake
back to back against Pusha.
But Drake, I feel like Drake felt like he was like, damn, this Pusha shit is kind of, kind of tough. And I might just like I'm gonna do my Drake shit on this, and I'm gonna chill because Pusha got his shit off. But in the Meek Mill shit, I feel like Drake had a lot of ammo, and what you need is ammunition. You need a lot of ammunition, and it's better when when you surprise fans and people that are listening with shit that they didn't know about another person. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, the Drake Meek Mill was definitely hands down Drizzy.
Well, yeah, Meek came with some reference tracks that Quentin Miller had done to try to expose Drake for not writing every single lyric.
Right.
But when Back to Back came out, he said, "Are you on a world tour, your girls tour?"
Right.
He said, "You getting bodied by singing N-word?" Like it was like,
Drake got his shit off on that.
Yeah, I mean, he actually addressed all the stuff that people criticize him for. Like, yeah, I'm singing and I just bodied you.
Right. And I've been personally, I've been in the studio with Drake, and I've seen Drake write raps and and I've seen Drake write songs and write hooks and like perform them shits on record. Like when we did 100. Drake was in that motherfucker and he did the whole song, like, you know what I'm saying, right there. So it's not like Drake can't write. But what people need to understand is sometimes as an artist and as a big artist, you know what I'm saying, people are dope writers, you know what I'm saying? And Q is one of those dope writers. And he's been in my sessions and has lended like, some bars or a hook or he sends me songs, reference shit all the time. And if it's dope as fuck, and I like it, he like, yo, that's you. And so, you can't be mad at that, man. And it was like, I don't even know if people would know, like really know Q like that if it wasn't for Meek, saying that this guy is doing this for Drake and shit like that. So I think for Q, that was a plus one anyway, because, everybody know Q. And I'm not saying just from that, but, he dope as fuck, but that had to be a boost.
Yeah. And just so you know, I'm excluding all of your beefs from this list.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Because we've already talked about it. I just don't want to rehash the same stories.
They'll probably just, just in us talking, like we'll touch on little shit, but yeah, it's all good.
Now we got to jump back 10 years because I couldn't find anything really significant from 2015 to 2005. But in 2005, you had Gucci Mane and Young Jeezy.
Yeah, man. So here's the thing, all right? And when I say here's the thing, it's
you're about to say some shit.
It gets kind of complex because Jeezy had it. He had such a huge impact on the way he came in the game. I mean, I remember being in like Magic City with Big Meech and the whole BMF and Blue Da Vinci, and we like when we was in a club with Big Meech and Blue and Jeezy, we was throwing hundreds. You know how like you go to a strip club and you throw ones? We was throwing stacks of hundreds, you know what I'm saying? And like we walk in there, Meech would just give everybody like, I don't know, 50 grand, bro. Like all hundreds.
I've been there.
And
they flew me out and I remember this.
And so
it was crazy.
Jeezy's impact like on rap when he came in was so crazy.
Yeah.
And then Gucci like was, underground, but like hitting hard too. Mm-hmm. Not as hard, not as, commercial or big as Jeezy was. But that beef, I feel like if niggas homies, niggas won. I like niggas sent niggas at Gucci, man. Gucci bodied niggas.
Literally.
And got away with it.
Yeah.
So, and when I say got away with it, I don't mean like illegally. I mean like legally, he got justified in a rap beef. Like he niggas. Like himself. So I don't know. That go to Gucci, man.
Well, yeah. In the song Truth, he said, "Go dig your partner up, but you can't say shit."
Ouch.
Ouch.
When
they did the verses, he actually said that, and he said, "I'm smoking on a
You know
Pookie
what's
pack."
crazy about that? And I might just be a weird, violent nigga, but if we doing verses and you say that, I gotta throw hands on the verses. I don't know, but Jeezy looks. I haven't talked to Jeezy in years, but he looks, well elevated and in a different mind state, and he's, he looked like he got his grown man. He getting his grown man on, so that might not have been for him. But I don't think no matter what level of life I would have been on, I don't know. I couldn't have let that slide. Like, it's no way. So again, Gucci Mane for the win, and that's just it. I don't want to hear nothing else about it.
That same year, T.I. versus Lil Flip.
Man, I almost just instantly gave it to T.I., but then I got reminded of Lil Flip, and Lil Flip is
nice.
Flip it seems like he a bouncing ball rapper, but I mean, it's the H-Town, and he can really go. I think that he gave it his best shot, but T.I., man, he couldn't get with T.I. He did, but he did good, man. I'm not mad about it, but it's got to go to T.I.
Yeah, I mean, in that particular situation, I feel like T.I. kind of messed up Flip's momentum,
right?
Because Flip was.
He was
platinum, and then this happened, and then it was like, all right, not quite the same sales. People looking at him a little different. T.I., that was sort of the start of his whole ascension, I feel.
Right.
When he did the mixtape with DJ Drama.
Yeah.
And it was, Lil Flip did have some comebacks.
Yeah, he like I said, he gave it his best shot, but T.I. is one of those niggas that, I don't know, when he gets angry, and you start using the big ass words, yeah, you're damn near doomed.
Well, in 2002, 50 Cent versus Ja Rule.
50 won that. I was there.
You were there.
I played a part in that.
You dissed Ja Rule during that time.
Because I rolled with the team. You know what I'm saying? Until it came to a certain point. But yeah, man, and I'm good with Ja too. But
yeah, me too.
Ja know that I feel like 50 had too much rolling. Number one, Wanksta was fucking crazy. At that time, you remember how the hi-hats and the drums, if they were hitting a certain way and you had a good flow, which is what he did on In the Club too, it wasn't part of the beef, but just 50's, the way that 50 raps melodically over dope ass fucking drums just gives him an edge. Plus his pen is crazy. When he gets angry, 50 is with all the shit. So 50 with the shit. And so that was a key that was instrumental in our beef too, because I knew that I was at war with somebody who was willing to, go to war in the streets as well. You know what I'm saying? So he wasn't scared. I wasn't scared. I think I had a little bit of more momentum, and he had a little bit more to lose because he was a little bit more successful than I at that point. But as far as 50 and Ja Rule, 50 came in, he had Dre, he had Eminem, and he had the power of his pen, and he had the world on his shoulders, and all the fans had his back, and so there was no competing with that. Ja Rule had nothing but radio hits, right? Which is fucking amazing, because I always tell people that Ja Rule was like the early 2000s Drake.
100%.
Before 50, Drake, Ja was Drake. He couldn't fucking miss.
Yeah.
And he also put on Christina Milian. He had the J-Lo. He
Ashanti.
had Ashanti.
Yeah.
Ja couldn't fucking miss. You know what I'm saying? And so 50 came and just stomped on that shit. And that had to hurt Ja. It had to hurt Irv and Chris and the whole Murder Inc. Cadillac Ty and Black
Child.
Yeah. Yeah, man. 50 won that. It was just it was no chance.
And it was interesting how I feel like 50 tricked Ja out of his position.
Style, position.
He said,
singing.
You just singing all the time. You just a singing rapper while he's singing himself.
Right.
21 Questions was one of his big songs.
Right.
Where he's singing the whole song essentially.
Yeah.
And Ja started to almost rethink himself.
Yeah.
He did Clap Back, which I didn't think was a
Clap Back was all right.
It was all right.
I went in clubs and Clap Back was popping and motherfuckers was popping bottles.
But it wasn't on a 50 level.
No, it wasn't there.
The New York record was a big record.
New York was crazy.
Yeah.
New York was a big record. Clap Back was all right. I don't know. I love what he did with Bobby Brown at that time when he hopped out and Bobby was he had dropped Bobby Brown a song. Shit was dope too. And then, the thing about it is, Josh still out here making money, man.
Yeah.
Making a lot. Ja getting 30 to 50,000 a show and going out to see him and Ashanti out all the time. But 50 did like stomp that fire out for 10 years or so.
Yep.
Maybe more. So yeah, that got to go to 50.
Yeah, I think that's kind of undeniable.
Yeah.
And I know Jaws well. I know Chris. I've interviewed
But
Irv.
we here being honest.
Yeah, we're just being honest.
It is what it is.
Yeah, we're being honest.
And if anybody watches this and you get mad at the honesty in professionals, like you're not a rookie to hip hop. Like you Vlad. Everybody know who the fuck Vlad is, and everybody know who I am. And I damn near can't even be challenged on much in rap because I've been through everything and I survived it and I'm here, right? And I still stand 10 toes down, on everything that I say and everything that I stand for. So if somebody watches this and they get mad, they just on some whole shit.
Nas versus Jay-Z.
That's going to Nas. We could talk about why. And you know what's crazy? Again, man, Hove is, for me, right now, off judging every rapper off everything, Hove's number one. Period. Around the board. He's been around since, I don't know how long.
The 80s.
The 80s.
Yeah.
And he's been doing his thing. I think that as far as the only person that is like challenging that number one for me, is Wayne. I think it's Wayne and I think it's Hove for me at the top.
In terms of longevity?
Longevity. And I also think that I don't know, Wayne. Like when I think Hove, I think Wayne. The only other person, let's just think versus wise, right? The only other person that could compete with Wayne is like Hove. The only person that can compete with Hove is Wayne, as far as catalog, longevity, and just somebody where everybody gonna say, "Ooh, I don't know who to pick. I don't know to pick Hove. I don't know to pick Wayne." You might get younger people that are gonna say Wayne, but then veterans gonna say Hove. But I think it's both. They both go hand in hand. So let's not get it twisted on how I feel about Hove and his pen. But Ether. Like the first time I heard, fuck Jay-Z, you been on my dick, you 36 in a karate class. Like that shit, you see how fucking excited I'm getting? Because I was at a time of my life, Ether, I was listening to Blueprint and I was listening to what was it, Blueprint? Blueprint came out before Nas dropped Ether? Or was it Volume? I forget what album it was. But I was listening to Hove a lot, heavily. And I was listening to Nas, of course, but I wasn't listening to Nas more than I was listening to Hove. Because when the Reasonable Doubt album came out, I was young, I was selling dope, I was in the spot.
You actually wrote your first album
over Reasonable Doubt with the Jay-Z rapping. I just heard it so many times. So many times I was able to tune his voice out and just hear the beats. So I was a super Hove fan. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still a fan of Jay-Z. But when Nas dropped Ether, man, the way that record came out, the impact that it had, no one can deny it. And Hove had Takeover and he had dope shit. Those songs were fucking amazing. You know what I'm saying? Even the one we talking about, we got something in common. Get it? Something in common? Fucking hip-hop, royalty, gloves off, I don't know, man. Hove did his thing. But Ether, to this day, you put on Ether right now, that motherfucker come on, it just sounds like one of the best records ever made in all genres. It's Ether. And I know that, not to cut you off, but I know that white people, white women, Indians, Asians, whoever the fuck you want to say, heard Ether and was just like, this is fucking amazing. It's not just a dope beef record. It is a classic hip hop record. So I got to give it to Nas.
Well, yeah, once again, it became a verb. If you got ethered, you know exactly what you're talking about.
Right. Exactly.
But the thing is, just me being honest, I felt like song-wise, beat, flow, I kind of like Takeover a little bit better. Me personally.
Yeah.
Me personally. I thought Takeover was a tough.
I thought Takeover was
song.
Dope too, but I kind of like Takeover better. You're not telling me that it's better than Ether. You're just telling me what you like.
The impact of Ether was bigger.
You telling me what record you like better, but Ether was better and made a bigger impact. True. And won that beef for Nas.
True.
So that's it. So we're not far off with how we feel about that.
Jadakiss versus Beanie Siegel.
Shit. That's tough.
I'm digging in the vaults here.
Yeah,
See, I'm bringing out things you haven't thought about in a while.
You're going Justo mixtapes and like, damn, Smack DVDs with it.
Because these are two lyrical monsters right here.
Yeah, man. I can't pick during that one because I don't.
The first time you can't pick. Okay.
Yeah, I don't. And so it's not like I'm just up here taking the fifth on all these beefs. That one right there, I didn't find a favorite. I feel like they both got off. If there was a slight edge, they would go to Kiss. But Beans did his thing too. And I just felt like, I don't know, man. I felt like it was a draw. I just felt like it was a draw, man.
2000, Lil Kim versus Foxy Brown.
I'm gonna give it to Kim. I feel like, you know what's crazy about that is like you had like Hove's pin behind Foxy, and you had Big's pin behind Kim. Mm-hmm. So it's like they both knew and had the skill set to do what they think. But Kim,
well, hold on. Let's just keep it accurate, because by the time this beef happened, Biggie was dead.
Oh yeah, no, I'm saying that the experiences that both of these women had with these top tier MCs groomed them to be able to compete against each other at a level that most female MCs can't even fuck with. You know what I'm saying? So Foxy gave it her best, but Lil Kim and her momentum and just her voice and the way that her brash delivery that was still classy and soft. Like, yeah, you know what? Let's do it like this. In that beef, right? Like in that beef, let's not talk about anything else but that beef. Like, I wanted to fuck Lil Kim. The shit that she was getting off made her sexy. Foxy's voice was sexy, but I ain't really want to fuck Foxy. And so if we talking about women and people gonna be looking like, listen to this, like, what the fuck that got to do with it? It has a lot to do with it, right? Because Lil Kim was sexy and she was getting her fucking shit off. And Foxy, I wasn't that attracted to during that beef or before, not saying nothing about it. I'm just saying Lil Kim had the fat pussy bending down with the before that. So it's like, I don't know, I'm going with Lil Kim.
Well, remember, that whole situation turned into violence as well. There was the shootout in the Hot 97 because after Foxy was on the Bang Bang remix with CNN.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Lil Kim's entourage ran into CNN and Foxy's entourages, and then shootout happened.
Shots fired.
I interviewed C. Gutta. He went to prison over that.
Right.
So, yeah, that's another one of those situations that escalated into extreme violence and people getting shot and people going to prison and everything else like that.
I'm familiar with shootouts at Hot 97s.
Yeah, you are definitely familiar.
Still banned.
You're the reason why rappers can't do freestyles at Hot 97 to this day.
Again, qualified professional.
Right. 1994, Ice Cube versus Common.
What do you like, sit back and just like really investigate shit and make sure that you got the best beefs ever that's gonna like have me over here complexed as fuck?
Yes, it's exactly what I'm doing. I'm a surgeon in this interview shit.
After, if I can say so, after Cube fucked NWA up, like, and with no Vaseline, because that is one of my
and we'll get to that one.
Yeah, after that, I would have expected the same thing in any beef after that. But Common really came in and did his motherfucking thing. And it's crazy that, I don't know, man, that for that, it's a draw again. It's a draw again because I feel like Common superseded what I thought that Common would do in a rap beef. And we talking about Common. Common not even a rap beef rapper.
No,
but
he was like a conscious rapper.
He got unconscious for it.
Right, when he did the Bitch in You was the response record. I believe he got dissed first on the West Side Connection.
Yeah.
Said, stupid ass bitch ain't got no common sense.
Yeah.
Because I guess Common criticized some of the West Coast rappers over some of the gangster lyrics.
And I'm a West Coast rapper, but in that one, I'm gonna call it a draw.
Right, and you got to hand it to Common, who came to LA and performed that record on stage in LA, knowing what might happen.
Common knew something that we didn't know at that point. Because, he was good.
He was good. Dr. Dre versus Eazy-E.
I'm from Compton. And so when Real Compton, I mean, so Dre, you know, they did their thing, right? What was it? Was the record Dre and Snoop?
Dre Day.
Yeah, Dre Day. Pardon me. But yeah, Dre Day was fucking huge.
Mm-hmm.
But Eazy's response and I mean, Eazy wasn't an underground guy, but that shit hit like real Compton City G's, real motherfucking G's on a street level. Was crazy. I think that BG Knockout's verse, I memorized that shit like I did fucking Thuggish Bone. Like, and I say Thuggish Ruggish Bone, which is not a beef record, but it was one of those things that like I kept on calling the box over and over and over and ordering Compton City G's over and over and over. So yeah, I probably gotta get that one just to Eazy. And then Dre Day still makes Eazy's payday. That was a big bar from a motherfucker who don't write his own raps.
Well, yeah, because I think at that point, most people had written off Eazy-E.
Right.
Because essentially...
I think I did too at that point.
Yeah, most of us did. Because look, Cube left. Dre left. I think Ren may have still been on Ruthless, but he wasn't really dropping the monumental records by that point. Like Kiss My Black Ass was cool, but it wasn't NWA Ren. He got 2 brand new rappers. He had to get new producers because Dre wasn't producing his stuff anymore. And Compton City G's was like, yeah,
huge.
Okay.
It was huge.
Yeah.
And then again, man, this is like, again, I'm from Compton. So for us, we were torn because it was Dre and it was Eazy. And we didn't want that, man. You know what I'm saying? We didn't want that. But it happened, and Real Compton City G's was really, I mean, obviously Dre Day was bumping. It's Dr. Dre. You know what I'm saying?
The Chronic was the biggest thing ever.
Right. But it was one of those things that when Real Compton City G's came out, everything stopped and every car and every radio was playing that shit and every TV. And that shit was ordered on the box. I went to the homie's house, my friends down the street, we just kept ordering that shit every fucking 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, just a slight edge to Eazy on that.
Ice Cube versus NWA.
Ice Cube won that.
Yeah.
It's fucking no Vaseline, man.
Easy.
It's no Vaseline. Like, that record inspired Hit 'Em Up. I'm sure it did.
Yeah.
That record inspired 300 Bars. It did. When I was beefing with G Unit and beefing with 50, like, I listened to No Vaseline. I listened to Hit 'Em Up because I was already pissed off, angry, and mad, but I wanted extra fuel. And so I had to go season myself a little bit. So those records are monumental. And so, yeah, No Vaseline, it's no competition for NWA when Cube dropped No Vaseline.
Right, because NWA was taking a Cube, the 100 Miles Running EP.
Right.
They take some shots at him. I think the For Life record, they also...
And I mean, Cube...
I was talking to your bitch O'Shea, like...
And then, you know, Cube was NWA's big pen.
Yes.
You know, and Ren ain't no slouch on the pen. But we know who
Cube was the heart of the group.
Cube was the heart.
Even DOC, when I interviewed him, he admitted, and he was one of the main writers of that group.
But Cube is unfuckwittable when we're talking about writing records, period, right? But for NWA, so to take the heart out of your body, like, you would fall down to the ground and just fucking drop dead. So, I mean, that's what happened when Cube left NWA. And again, man, NWA was huge, and nobody wanted to see Cube leave NWA. But once he put out No Vaseline and he started to do the things that he did as a solo artist, it was just undeniable. His career from there was just going to be undeniably like goated. And so he definitely fucked them niggas up with No Vaseline. It's no competition.
Just as a side note, you being a West Coast guy and me being a West Coast guy, there's always been an interesting kind of debate about this. America's Most Wanted versus Death Certificate.
This a side note?
Yeah. This is obviously not a beef conversation.
Death Certificate.
See, and I figured you would say that, being an LA guy.
Yeah.
For me, it was America's Most Wanted.
Why, though?
I just felt like, and me and Chuck D talked about this when we did our interview, I just felt like the production of the Bomb Squad fit Ice Cube so incredibly well right at that moment.
Yeah.
That Death Certificate, I know he went very West Coast with the production. He totally, didn't use the East Coast guys at all. And it was very much more of an LA West Coast record, but I just felt the production that Chuck D and Hank Shockley and Keith Shockley, the way they put stuff together. And you got to remember, I'm a little bit older than you, so like Public Enemy was everything at one point.
Yeah.
Like they were the rock stars of hip hop.
For sure.
They were going on tour with U2.
Yeah.
Which was the biggest group on the planet. They had gotten bigger than hip hop. And the fact that they gave their best work to Cube at that moment, and he was flowing on them beats. And I know a lot of West Coast dudes were like, oh no, like Cube was in his bag with Death Certificate. That's when he got into his flow. But for me, as a hip hop fan, I just loved America's Most Wanted.
Yeah, America's Most Wanted.
Yeah.
Was I thought that was creative as shit.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And it sometimes it's the smaller things. And so when I saw that, I was like, that's fucking dope. But Death Certificate, it's like you said, man. It was more of a West Coast album for me. And you know, I'm a West Coast artist, and at that point in time, I was just a West Coast kid.
Yeah.
So
an LA kid at that.
It made more sense for me, production wise, because it was, you know, again, hi-hats on our heavy 808s, and it was, you know, Cube has one of the most amazing deliveries on record, you know what I'm saying, still to this day, from NWA to everything that he did solo to West Side Connection to now, if you go see Cube in concert, nothing changes, you know what I'm saying? He still got all the crowd control, his presence is still, you feel like, I don't know, man. You still feel like you're looking at Ice Cube, the untouchable Ice Cube. Back when celebrities, you couldn't walk outside and see a celebrity. You couldn't go on Instagram and like see nothing about a celebrity's life. If you ran into Cube back in the day, you might fucking pass out because like, oh shit, there's fucking Ice Cube. You know what I'm saying? So again, man, Ice Cube, he took that, man. One of my favorite rappers of all time.
Well, here's an interesting one. Also, the same year that Ice Cube went at NWA. MC8 versus DJ Quick.
Quick.
Really?
Yeah, man. It was, and I'm from Compton. Again, this was a Compton beef.
Exactly.
But Dollars and Cents was one of those records, man, where was crazy. I was talking to Problem about this exact beef and the impact of that record for Cube. Not for Quick at that time. And for a Compton kid, I remember when it came out, I had a Walkman, a Sony Walkman. I was walking to school across the tracks on Alameda, like down Elm, across the tracks on Alameda, walking to Compton High, and it was Cube, man. It was Cube. I'm gonna call you Theo because you weigh 92.3 pounds. Whack ass actor, movie strip. Nigga, don't you know? Quick is still the nigga. Compton Psycho. Boy, you ought to quit. Your records don't hit, and bitches don't jock your shit. You need to stand down, you Compton clown, and get off of the nuts with the niggas with guts. Cause I'm down with that record was crazy, man. Like that record was crazy. I still play it to this day.
Well, yeah, and remember, Quick was the first rapper to actually claim the gang that he was in. Right. He was the first one to claim being a Blood on a record ever. Like I just interviewed Robert Ladd, who was partners with Timothy Brennan, aka Blondie.
Right.
And Quick had that song where he basically threatened Blondie.
Right.
But there's a verse that says, Blondie, cut no slack, fuck with me, I'll put a bullet in your back.
That's exactly it.
Okay. So he's not talking about you, but he's talking about the guy you're with every single day.
Right.
When Blondie first heard that lyric, what did he think?
Well, he was kind of pissed off. If, he's going, hey, is this guy threatening me or what?
He put a bullet in his back.
Yeah. So he wasn't too happy about it, but I think it was years later, we had the Compton Christmas parade every year. Mm-hmm. And he was one of the main guys. What do you call the main guy at the parade? I can't remember him. But he rides in the back of the car. And so we saw him. He was at the end of the parade. So we drove up and he was sitting in the car. And me and Tim get out of the car. And DJ Quick, he goes, hey, man. Tim goes, hey, man, you wrote that song about me. What's up with that? Right? And he just started laughing. He goes, oh, Blondie, I was just kidding. I put you on the map. Right? So he goes, I didn't mean nothing by it. So it was kind of squashed right there.
So Quick, I feel like because later on, Quick became kind of like the low-key producer Quick.
Right.
You forgot how crazy he was early on in his career.
I never forgot, man. Quick has always been he's always been that guy. And I mean, you heard Banging on Wax. So you do know it was Bloods banging on Wax before Quick.
Banging on Wax? Are you saying that Banging on Wax came out before?
No, I'm saying like Bloods were banging on records. They just ain't make it like as far as Quick made it. You know what I'm saying? So you said he was the first to say where he's from on record, but that's not true.
Well, let's look this up. It's actually a good question. Banging on Wax dates.
And you know Quick, that's my bad.
Banging on Wax came out in 1993.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about that particular record. I'm saying the term banging on wax is what we're talking about.
Ah, okay, sorry.
So there was niggas banging on wax.
Okay, got it.
Before Quick came out. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Fair enough.
It is what it is. But, you know, good shot in the dark.
Yeah.
And Quick is my dog. But even he knows that.
And then the first major hip-hop beef, KRS-One versus MC Shan, which really expanded to the whole Queensbridge, Marley Marl, Roxanne Shante.
MC Shan, like what they were doing, you know, back in those days, and hip hop was dope. They were rocking house parties. They were going, you know, like it was small, it was intimate, it was beef, it was neighborhood, it was borough. And MC Shan, which a lot of y'all need to, you know, watching this, need to go look up that beef, is one of the most important hip hop beefs in hip hop. It shaped and molded a lot, you know, a lot that was, you know, to come in the future of hip hop, you know, immediately after and all the way up to this day. But KRS won that.
Absolutely.
The bridge is over.
Yeah. And I remember
whatever the fuck he was saying on that motherfucker.
And I remember 50 used to always say how that song was so hard that they used to play it in Queens, knowing that they're being dissed.
Right, of course.
The fact that KRS-One dissed a whole borough, with like the biggest borough, I think, in New York, like 1 million people in it, while living in New York, and it became a hit song, is just crazy. Yep. The bridge is over. The bridge is over. Bye-bye.
Yeah, hey man, KRS is one of those guys, man, and he's a big brother to me. Always been a mentor for me in rap. Always calls me on my shit and is like, "Yo, Gabe, you know you gotta calm down." You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I love KRS, but yeah, just he man with that.
Quite a lineup though, isn't it? A lot of these songs you probably haven't heard of. I mean, you probably haven't thought of in a while.
I haven't.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to actually dig all that up and get an expert to do it. Well, let's talk about some of the stuff that we missed last time, because, you know, after we dropped our last interview, a lot of people, how come you didn't ask about this? How come you didn't ask about that?
Right.
So let's go through and, fill in a couple of the blanks. On the Memphis Bleak Round Here remix record, you said they took Carmelo's chain at the All-Star game.
Yeah.
What was that referring to exactly?
To be honest, I don't even fucking remember. Like I literally don't even remember that, man. I think Carmelo, I think niggas ran up on Carmelo, might have took a chain, might have not. And I was vocal about it. And then I ran into Carmelo not long after, and we talked about it. And yeah, I think he straightened it out for me. But again, it was just hearsay. I wasn't there, but I spoke on it. And I talked to Melo about it, and we cool. We super cool now. But yeah, it was just one of those things, just rap reporting, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, I remember when you were in the middle of the whole 50 Cent G-Unit beef, you and your homies actually went out to his house in Connecticut.
For sure.
Mike Tyson's old house.
For sure.
No one was there though, right?
Police was, I didn't know no one was going to be there. 50 wasn't there, obviously.
That's what I'm saying.
But it was people there.
Right.
Like groundskeepers, security at the front and all of that shit. Yeah, they was there. But we was able to get on the property and do what we wanted to do.
Why'd you decide to go that far? Because things could have ended badly. Someone could have gotten. I mean, you go to someone's house.
It's just
you're playing with fire.
The thing about me is that, like I said, I'm not one of those ill-prepared guys. Like when I do something and when I'm gonna do something, it's I think it out. And I know the limits that I'm gonna go to, and my worst case scenario is always death, right?
Right.
But that's inevitable for every living human.
Yes, but premature death You could shorten things up pretty quickly.
You got to understand the mindset of a gang member. Like you join a gang and part of the requirements, like on this invisible written contract, is that you for sure might die, like immediately, right? You like some kids, like one of my best friends got in the 4th grade. He was banging, like we were 8 years old and he started banging early, like just like 8 years old, and he got shot and murdered. Another one of my friends, Junior, was when I was 11 because he joined the Spanish gang, and he got by, the Paragons in Paramount. So it's like so when you talk about premature, I'm telling you that I had 2 friends that were 8 years old and 11 years old. They got murdered gangbanging. So, I mean, we started banging knowing that you could possibly die. So again, I was 23, 24. I didn't give a fuck about that. And that is a 24-year-old gang member is a veteran gang member. If you think about it, in terms of like when you start and the life expectancy of a gangbanging at that time. And I'm not saying that it has gotten, any softer or it's died down, because it definitely has fucking not. But yeah, at that time, you didn't think that you were gonna live to be 18. And if you made it to 18, you told yourself, I'm probably gonna die before I'm 21. And the crazy part about it, the psychology behind gangbanging is you didn't give a fuck. Because that wasn't a thing. Because you knew people and you had family members and you had friends that were already dying. And so it wasn't really that bad of a thing. Dying wasn't scary. It was losing that person, never seeing them, getting angry as fuck, mad as fuck, and going to avenge their death immediately and somebody else, for them to come back and somebody else, for them to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And that has been how it was ever since Raymond Washington, fucking leather jacket, all of that, like T. Rogers and all of them back in the day, Tukey Williams, you know what I'm saying? All of that. Like, you got into gangbanging knowing that there was a strong possibility that you were going to die. So at that time, when I went to do anything like violent, or I set my mind to a beef, or I was in it wholeheartedly. And I already know that death could be the outcome, but I did not give a fuck. I'm from Compton, and that's just how it was.
Well, but a lot of times that mentality has a backdrop of poverty and hopelessness.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Because I don't give a fuck, because I'm coming home, I might not have electricity, my mom might be on, we might get evicted, we have no hot water, so fuck it. But you're a multimillionaire at this point.
Right.
So you have to take that into account in terms of your actions. But did you feel at that point you ignored that part of your reality at that time?
I feel like this. I feel like leave a 8-month-old baby in the wilderness with gorillas, right? The gorillas are going to look at it like it's one of theirs, right? Or the mother gorilla, the one that finds it, right? And let's just say the baby is like fucking, there's a Hood Jungle Book version of this story that I'm talking about. And a baby is raised in the wild, right? But how long is it going to take you to untrain that child from being a gorilla? Teach it how to talk and teach it how to eat right. And that kid's going to be running around jumping on shit, like swinging off shit, like ain't going to be able to go in school, going to only know how to like do, what it was taught to do. So again, even though I had, and that's a little far-fetched for some people, I get it, I understand. But even though I had money, that didn't change anything. I still felt like I was myself. I still had the mentality of a Compton gangbanger from Cedar Block, Piru. You know what I'm saying? Like that didn't change. And still to this day, the only thing that keeps me from going over the edge is how secluded my life is these days. I don't really do much. You don't see me out fucking with rappers and on the red carpet and at the Met Gala. Not that there's nothing wrong with that. That I'm not an outdoorsy, like go be friendly, like go chill with the Illuminati and make friends and like, let me go say hi to this person, shake this hand so I can get that deal tomorrow. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. The only thing that keeps me grounded these days, and I'm sitting here talking to one of my longest standing friends in music and outside of music, is my children. If it wasn't for them, I would still be, because I still don't give a fuck. To this day, the only thing that I give a fuck about is staying alive long enough to see my kids have kids, my daughter get married. I want to walk her down the aisle. Those things are important to me. But I ain't nobody's bitch. I'm going to stand up and I'm going to poke my chest out and I'm going to run it all the way to the end of the time and to the end of time. And if I do end up in something that is, that might require putting your life on the line, I'm probably going to have a conversation with myself, a conversation with my family. And if I got to go all the way to the max, then I'm going to go. But everybody that I love is going to be pre-warned that this is what I'm on and I can't be talked out of this. But other than that, like I said, man, my kids just keeps me grounded. And so still to this day, at 44 years old, like the mentality's still there, but that's how I was raised. And I'm glad that I was raised like that. I wouldn't go back and change anything about my life for nothing because it made me wholesome. It made me who I am. And I feel like I'm a real nigga and I'm going to die like that.
Have you ever done therapy? I mean, I've done therapy myself. And I remember you talked about anger management after that last jail stint. Have you ever looked into potentially like bipolar disorder or anything else like that, or do you just not give a shit?
I feel like this. I feel like everybody's fucking bipolar. And look at everything.
You might be right.
Look at it. No, I'm probably exactly right. Like everyone on earth has bipolar tendencies. Some worse than others, but some of us are taller than others. Some of us are shorter. Some of us are skinnier, fatter, faster. I don't know. But the thing is that I'm not running from being dubbed anything. I'm human, just like you.
Right.
You could say, you know what, Game, I think you're bipolar. I say, Vlad, you fucking bipolar.
Right.
And we can have a fucking bipolar.
People think Kanye's bipolar.
They think Kanye's bipolar. And he says that I'm bipolar.
Right. He feels it's a superpower for him.
Right. And
this is not an insult on any fashion. I'm just saying everyone has their own thing. A lot of times artists, they're just different, which is what makes them the artists that they are.
But think about this. Let's think about who is diagnosing people or saying that a person is this way, right? Let's just take Jim. Let's say Jim says Vlad ain't shit. Who the fuck is Jim? Let's just do that. And then let's move on because we can just all point. And that seems to be what the fuck the rhetoric is for, human behavior across the board, all nations, all religions, all colors, creed, everything. Everybody's just pointing the finger at everybody and getting mad at stupid shit. And we're all pretty much the same other than like the color of our skin or the way that we grew up or what ethnicity we are. But like, fuck that, all that judgment shit. I'm not in judgment of nobody, neither are you. We can say shit and we do judge people, but it's just some human behavioral fucking pattern shit. We just do it. Some people mean shit by it. Some people don't. You know what I'm saying?
Well, speaking of 50, you were in the club video shoot.
Right.
Were you there when Suge Knight showed up with the crew of Mexicans?
Fuck yeah. And I was there with the homies. So it was like every time, and Suge, I think Suge got a podcast or some shit.
Right.
Suge will tell you every motherfucking time that I ran into him, I stood on 10 toes. It could have been me versus Suge. And obviously I'm sitting here and, he's alive. So it never went to a point of no return, but I'm from Compton too. So that Suge shit never scared me like it did other people. Now I'm not saying that Suge wasn't Suge and he didn't have niggas with him and he ain't about that shit because Suge will push the issue. You know what I'm saying? But Suge is fucking human. And when you from Compton, not to slight anybody else from their hoods or where they're from, but when you're from a place that somebody's from, you see it like they see it. So there's no fear. We're from the same fucking place. You know what I'm saying? So when Suge was putting his press down on whoever and he had Bunch Real and Heron and those real niggas that I knew personally, with him, that was some scary shit. I'm just saying, for every Bunch Real and every Heron and every Suge, there's this guy and that guy on the other side of the track. So, it wasn't no thing.
I remember Tony Yayo said in our interview that when this was happening, Eminem was there and Eminem was ready to go. Suge Knight showed up.
Right.
And Eminem...
He came outside.
He was ready to take on
from
whatever.
Detroit. Know what I'm saying? Let me tell you, just because you a white boy from Detroit, that don't mean you tough. I know a real tough nigga, my man Matt. He a white boy. Tough. My man Littles, he's black, but Detroit, it's like anywhere else. It's a hard upbringing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You saw it.
But he should have been ready to go. M's not a gangster rapper, man. He's M. He's the MC. He's unconfrontational.
When I say ready to go, not mean run away. He was ready to like confront the situation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You didn't let me finish. What I'm saying is that like M is non-confrontational. He's not a beef. He's not a real he's not like fucking old Beanie Siegel. You know what I'm saying? He ain't walking around with the strap ready to up it and just pop shit. But he from Detroit. He from Detroit, man. He's from 8 Mile, bro. And I don't know, 20, 30 minutes ago, we talked about all his niggas is niggas. So yeah, of course, M was ready to go. He was ready to go. But Dre wasn't having that. Jimmy Iovine was on set too. Jimmy wasn't having that. And I mean, we're talking about Eminem. So it wasn't in anybody's best interest for M to even get into it, or 50, because this was a huge time for him. But I was there. Face was there. All my niggas was there, and we wasn't really having it. So again, nothing transpired there either.
Last time we didn't talk about the whole beef with Stitches, which was just weird, if you ask me.
Yeah, I don't know why he wanted to play with me. And luckily, Wack got to him before I did, because he was walking straight at me, but what was about to happen then was about to be so fucking crazy. But he ran into Wack before. He ran into Wack's fist before he got to me. He was literally 30 feet from me, but he didn't see Wack. And I didn't see Wack, but Wack saw him. And so that happened before he got to me. But if he would have made it to me, he would have been hospitalized. Because on that particular night, I was in the club, and I was just finished talking to headliner Mike. I was just finished talking to headliner Mike and Kevin Gates. And I was off about like 2 bottles of rosé, and I had the whole gang with me. And I don't know if he knew that or saw that or whatever, but he was walking towards me, and I was like, nah, we about to wipe the concrete with this nigga. And so he ran into Wack's fist before he got to me. So that's what happened.
Yeah, that was sort of just as bizarre situation, because when you guys were in the club, he was like rolling around like on Instagram Live or whatever was the equivalent back then. He was spitting on your cars, I think.
Wasn't Mark? It was just a rental.
A rental, yeah. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. He was spitting on cars. And then he walked up. I remember I interviewed Wack, because he came in after you came in last time. And he was saying how he was like, he told you like, yo, game, I got this.
Stitches, they got the police got Stitches on the hood of his Porsche. He's probably about 20 yards away from us. And dude come off the Porsche, Debo status, like, fuck up off me. And he walking up.
Stitches is a pretty big dude,
They let him go. I don't know. I'm looking from a distance. Stitches about 6'5", 280, 290.
Right.
So when he walking up, my little Haitian team over here, they on something different. It's like 19 police out there. I weighed them off. So I'm like, Stitches and 3 other cats. Stitches leading the group. He about 7 steps ahead of them. He like, you bitch ass motherfuckers, y'all don't run nothing out here. And whatever, Dade County, wherever we saying, you county niggas, woo-to, 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 woo. I'm like, who was it? He said, we don't know. I said, listen, I got him. Don't rap back, I got him. I can't front. The closer he got, the bigger this dude got.
And he said he just kept getting bigger and bigger, because, Wack's not that tall. He's very stocky, but Stitches is tall. And he said as he was walking forward, he just kept getting taller and taller. He just knew he had this one punch that worked in prison. And he just hit him with it and just dropped him right there.
All I know is I seen Stitches walking towards me from a little ways away, and then he disappeared. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, where'd he go? I looked down, he was down. And Wack was doing that Wack shit. I call Wack Scrappy Dude. You know what I'm saying?
Didn't Wack get tased or something?
Yo, that's who won the beef that night. If we're talking about beefs, the fucking Miami-Dade. They hit Wack. He didn't even fall the first time. They hit him again. Bop, bop. And I was like, damn, tasers is crazy. That's the first time I seen somebody get tased. That was crazy, like in person. Yeah. That was crazy as shit. And that part of the beef, I was like, yeah, better him than me.
Yeah, shout out to Wack, man. Me and him are cool. And just as a side note, because I was going to talk about this a little bit later, but I don't know if you knew it, but me and Wack kind of had a lightweight beef for about 10 years.
Yeah, I don't know what that was over, but I'm glad y'all ended it.
Well, I'll tell you what it's over, because me and him actually talked about it on camera.
Right.
What had happened was, well, you were supposed to be there, but you didn't show up. It was the I Hit It First video shoot with Ray J.
Yeah.
And,
I'm known for not showing up places I'm supposed to be.
Right. So, and my security, Big E, who's sitting right next to us, he was there as well. So the director of the video, who I had met recently, was like, hey, you know, come out and, you know, if you want to cover this video shoot that I'm doing, you know, it's Ray J and, you know, Game is supposed to be there and so forth. So I came out and, you know, I remember I asked Ray J, I said, hey, can I take some photos? He's like, yeah, go ahead, you know, take some photos. Not knowing this thing was supposed to be like a secret. Like the I Hit It First, there was a Kim K lookalike, and they were supposed to kind of surprise the world with it. I had no idea. You know, I asked the director, can I post these photos? He's like, yeah, go ahead. So I posted the photos, and I'd met Wack that day. We had exchanged numbers and everything. I get a phone call early in the morning with Wack, and he's like unbelievably upset.
Right.
He's screaming at me. He's threatening me and everything else like that. Ray J got on the phone. It was a mess. And basically at that point, I'm like, all right, if this is what it is, you know, and my thing was like, yo, I'll take the photos down. I wasn't trying to push back. I'm like, yo, I was given permission to post the photos. I'm not trying to do anything sideways here, but I can understand my fault in this situation. But at that point, I'm like, okay, look, if dealing with this Wack guy, if this is what a disagreement turns into, I'm good. So for 10 years, we didn't talk.
Right.
And it wasn't until we decided to do this interview. And originally the interview didn't work out because remember you were like late and we couldn't do it. And I'm like, okay, let me get Wack involved. And we got on the phone and I basically was like, look, you know, and Wack had like taken a few shots at me on social media since then. And I'm like, look, we could sit here and argue about what happened 10 years ago, or we could look at it realistically and say, we both made millions of dollars since then. And there's business on the table. And we could just go forward with it. And he goes, you're absolutely right. Let's just go forward with it.
Yeah.
And this is how me and Wack are good. This is how the interview happened. Me and him did an interview afterwards. We've run into each other a few times since then. It just shows the growth of everyone involved.
Yeah, he a good guy at heart, man. Yeah. But again, man, he not really one to be taken lightly. He will go to the max too. But I'm glad that in his older age that he's finding the civilian in himself.
Right.
And, you know, civilian millions, you know what I'm saying? They all, you know,
they rhyme.
Yeah, they rhyme, they go together, man. Like, everybody just need to chill, man.
Well, right. And when we talked, there was growth from both parties. I admitted that I was wrong. I mean, he said he was on some different shit back then, and ultimately it turned into a good situation.
Yeah, he's making a lot of money these days.
Exactly.
Shit is starting to make sense.
Well, here's one that I missed until I did some research. You took a shot at Lupe Fiasco at one point.
Did I?
You said, I put it on the head. I ain't talking no toupee. I stayed the same. Ain't go weird like Lupe.
I mean, did Lupe went a little weird to me?
I personally think Lupe's a weirdoe, man. Like,
I mean, so then you fucking agree.
I agree.
But here's the thing.
Me and him had a situation. I'll mention it after you.
Here's the thing. Like at that time, what year was that?
Ooh, hold on a second.
That sounded like some 10 years back shit.
Let's take a look.
But yeah.
It's $1 and a Dream.
Oh shit.
Yeah, which was with Ab-Soul.
That was like
this was 2015.
Yeah, so like 9 years ago.
Yeah.
Almost made 10.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah. I don't know. I really fucked with Lupe when he came out, obviously, like, you know, before Touch the Sky, but Touch the Sky was
Kick Push.
Was fucking crazy. Kick Push was fucking phenomenal as well.
Good song.
And then he got into like Ninja Swords and all that shit. And so that's what it was about. It wasn't no major like diss. It was just like I thought that was a little weird, but actually like that might bring him peace and, you know, in doing, you know, the sword shit, you know, like the whole, I don't know, the whole samurai lifestyle might be calming and cool for the spirit. So who the fuck am I to call somebody weird other than a judgmental motherfucking human like everybody else?
Right.
So yeah, and that one, it wasn't no particular real shot at somebody I had beef with. It was just like me this rhyming and I don't know, Lupe rhymed with Toupee that night.
Right. He had responded to you with a link to the Radiohead song Creep.
What is that?
So I'm a creep. I'm a loser.
Is that was a diss?
I guess he's calling you a creep. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I didn't even know he responded. So
yeah, it was
that's
like a
news
tweet.
to me. Me and Lupe might have to kick this shit back into full gear after that.
Well, yeah, I remember me and Lupe, well, we've met, I've interviewed him before. We've run into each other backstage at shows, and we were relatively cool, but we would cover some of his antics on the news site on VladTV.com. Right. And then, like, I remember he was trying to call me and he was trying to get me on the phone, but I was like, he wanted to meet with me, and I'm like, I'm not going to meet with you.
Might have them swords.
He might have them swords. He's like, well, we need to talk. And I'm like, I'm not getting on the phone with you because you're probably going to record it.
Right.
And when we were DMing and I said, you could tell me what you need to say on here, he reposted all the DMs, and I just blocked him. And
See, so you knew that.
He's a weirdo.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm going to say it. Lupe's a weirdo. So, when I saw it, I kind of chuckled a little bit.
Well, I won that beef.
Yep. This is a weird one. Chris Brown. This was around the time that him and Carucci were breaking up, and he was very sensitive.
Right.
I think him and Tyson Beckford were going at it.
That's a beef?
Yeah, I think Tyson had taken a picture with Carucci, and then it turned into a whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
And Tyson held his ground. He was like, hey, man, listen. He started
Hey,
posting pictures of him at the shooting range and stuff like that.
You know what's crazy, man, is like as much as everybody thinks and wants Chris Brown to be this R&B singer, he a real nigga, man. Like I done seen Chris do some real shit.
Yeah.
I've never seen Chris turn, and you've never seen Chris turn down no beef, no fade, no nothing. So I mean, at the end of the day gotta end, nephew.
Well, yeah, I think you would just like to pick up Carucci. Just something random, and then that turned
was
into
his
a whole
girl,
thing.
man. That was his girl, and like me and Chris always cool. That's my little brother. We been cool. We cool now. We been cool. That's my dog, man.
Right, and I think you actually shouted out Carucci on.
I was just
All
poking
Eyes.
fun. I was poking
you were
fun.
like poking the bear a little bit.
But Breezy, he knew what I was doing. We on the same accord when it comes to dealing with women and shit like that.
I mean, recently he got banned from playing in the NBA celebrity game.
I've never played in one.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely a bigger celebrity than, I don't know,
a lot of celebrities.
A lot of celebrities.
And you play basketball better than a lot of celebrities.
Exactly.
On top
but
of that.
I've never played in one NBA All-Star game, which is crazy because I didn't won the Drew against.
Oh, you won the Drew League? Okay.
Yeah, against NBA motherfuckers and all
real
that. And
NBA
I played
players,
with just my homies from the hood and won the Drew, went undefeated. But I've never even got invited to the NBA All-Star, and I'm an A-list celebrity. So I mean, if I was Chris, I wouldn't be tripping on that.
I mean, do you feel like it's unfair that they're still giving him flack over the Rihanna thing, which happened,
I do.
15 years ago?
I feel like if Rihanna's over it, the world should be.
Right. She doesn't make a big deal out of it.
I mean, they have been in each other's company after the fact.
Yeah, they got back together.
Exactly. So if she's over it, why is everybody else still mad? And I mean, as far as corporate America, and let's just say Ruffles and all the powers that be, like, man, everyone, and I'm when I say the powers that be, I mean that one guy or that group of people who are making the decisions about like not having Chris at the All-Star game in cahoots with another group of people that are like in a joint effort to like not have him ball when he's one of the biggest celebrities in the world and he actually can play basketball. Yeah. Like, y'all know y'all on some fuck shit in y'all lives too. So like, come on, man. Like, this is one of those things where we go back again in our conversation talking about people that judge people that are also in judgment or should judge themselves. And it's like, I can't sit here and say, yo, Vlad, you like this when I know I go home and I'm like picking myself apart or I know I got shit that's wrong with my life. So it's like, that shit is bullshit. Chris is a fucking superstar. Mm-hmm. He can play basketball and he should be invited to anything basketball related on a world scale if like that's what motherfuckers are doing.
Well, Suge Knight on his podcast, which he really, Suge Knight is going to be Suge Knight.
Right.
He's going to create a fire no matter where he is.
Yeah.
But he talked about the double standard of Dr. Dre being forgiven for his past abuse, but not Chris Brown. And I think the reason why Chris Brown is still getting it is because the photo of Rihanna got released.
Right.
You take that photo out of the history, and I don't think anyone would really care. Because, listen, couples get into it. Yeah. Sometimes it gets physical, unfortunately. But when that photo of Rihanna with her eyes closed came out, that's what really
when
messed
you said
Chris
it,
up.
I've seen the photo in my mind, and I like, that one.
That's what did it.
That
you
one
take that
passage.
photo out, and I don't think there would be any effect on Chris's career whatsoever.
I think besides the little tedious shit, like the basketball game and all that, I don't think that like Chris Brown is like missing anything. He's not missing money. He's not missing tours. He's fucking got, I don't know, 200 million followers on Instagram, and like
yeah, true.
Those are fans. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think he missed a beat. I think it's the small shit where they picking on him, and like using him as an example in this little small small little instance like the ruffle shit with the NBA.
Well, you and Kehlani had an interesting one.
Yeah.
You said that me and Fifth used to be tight as Kehlani's pussy.
Right.
She responded. She posted a picture of Rihanna looking disgusted. And she said, your lack of respect for women is showing. You need a nap. Keep my youthful ass name out your mouth. Then a week later, you guys were in the studio.
Yeah, it was just one of those bars, man. It's like, for her, I think like when you come into any type of celebrity, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you make a name for yourself, your name's gonna be thrown around in bars by some rapper. And I think she just caught the compliment, you know what I'm saying, from one of the greatest to ever do it. So yeah, we squashed it pretty quick, and she's a lovely person and she's a sweet soul, man. And I got a lot of respect for her.
Well, at one point, you and Eazy-E's son, Lil Easy, went at it. Now, you have a tattoo of Eazy-E on your arm.
Right.
This is one of your early tattoos.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's also interesting how, when we talked about the beef thing in the beginning, you have a beef tattoo on your arm. I was actually in the beef DVD also.
Yeah.
They interviewed me for that.
Yeah.
And I remember, I think you got the beef tattoo as part of the actual footage of the beef DVD. So, at one point, you guys were cool. You guys did a song together in 2004. But then things kind of went bad. I think in 120 Bars, you talked about Lil Easy not writing his own lyrics and so forth. And then he dropped a diss record coming from Compton, said that you never knew his father and called you disrespectful for the tattoo. What was that about exactly?
I don't know, man. I think that he probably had the wrong people in his ear and the wrong people around, and I was the biggest thing moving on the West, so it was just like a easy target for him or for them or whoever. But again, man, anytime my name's called, if it makes any type of static, I'm a stand up. I don't per se really remember the ins and outs of whatever that short-lived beef was, but me and E cool, you know what I'm saying, to this day. So yeah, I just think it was miscommunication. And at that point, he I don't know, I just felt like he had the wrong people around. Made the wrong decision.
Yeah, I interviewed Lil Easy before.
Yeah,
I remember he actually cried when we started talking about the death of his dad.
Yeah,
and everything else.
That. We talking about the death of someone's father, especially that monumental. Tears probably gonna roll.
Yeah. Well, whenever people beef with you, they always bring up that one picture of the exotic dancing picture.
Right. There's no picture of me exotic dancing, which is crazy.
So you're saying that picture is fake?
Man, you seen that fucking picture, man. That shit is, somebody put my fucking head on a stripper's body, bro. And I want to say it was 50, bro. But what? Get the fuck out of here. That shit looks crazy, bro. And I've had tattoos since I was fucking 14.
Right.
But that body, whoever's body that was or is, has no tattoos. That shit is crazy, man.
Well, my thing is, I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, listen, if I had the body to be a male,
That's not my
Chippendale
fucking body, bro. And the thing about it is, if it was my body, I would just say, yo, I was shaking my dick for some hoes, made some money. It's an easy cleanup.
Right.
If I was doing that.
Right, for girls. No one ever accused you of being in
I'm
gay
shaking my dick for bitches for money. What are we talking about here? You shake your dick for free. You know what I'm saying? It would have been some shit like that. But it ain't. They put my fucking head on somebody else's body, bro.
All right. Well, there you have it. The change of heart thing. They always bring that up also.
That was real, but
that was obviously real.
I had a girlfriend, right? It's my real girlfriend.
Yeah.
We were sitting in the bed after we finished fucking, and that the change of heart was going off, and it was like, if you want to be a guest on Change Your Heart, and we pay this, and we was like, yo, let's go get that money. At this time, I was selling a little weed here and there and shit. And I was like, yo, let's go get that $5,000 real quick. We split that. Went on there, and it's television, so it's scripted. After that show was over, we went home together. Same car, Smacked it again. We had the bread, little check, you know what I'm saying? Took it to the bank, put it in her account, and yeah, that was it. But yeah, man. So yeah, we split a quick check. We thought it was a quick cash grab. We did it. We went home. It was scripted. I didn't know that though. That's the first time I was ever on TV, and they have it written out how it's supposed to go.
Aha.
You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter how you feel about the person. They say that based on their algorithm or however their shows that season is scripted, that this is what they want this to be. And so I never talked to old girl after that. The one that I went on a date with, she was a baddie too. But yeah, I never talked to her.
It was a dating show. It's nothing to be. It's funny how people try to use that against you. It's like, it's a dating show. It's like, why is this even a big deal?
I went right back home to the hood and went back to trapping and fucking my bitch and like with a little bit of change in my pocket. It's no big deal.
Well, you have an interesting dating history or alleged dating history.
Yeah, I don't really pop out often.
Yeah.
Or get caught. And you know what it is? TMZ, they know. They know it's me. So they always come up with cameras down and say, hey, game, I'm from TMZ. Can I ask you questions? If I say yeah, then they'll raise the camera. But for the most part, yeah. So for the most part, I'll say yeah. But sometimes I'm not feeling it. I'll say no. And they're like, all right, man, be safe and I'll catch you later. I think I got a good rapport with those pop-up cameras and the people that do it. And it's a small group out here in LA, pretty much the same guys. So yeah, I got respect for what they do and they got respect for the mood I'm in. So sometimes it happens, sometimes it don't.
Well, there's Kim Kardashian. You want to talk about that?
You want to talk about Kim?
Yeah.
What about her?
What happened with you and Kim?
You know what? What happened with me and Kim is number one, Kim's one of the coolest and sweetest people around. She can cook like a black grandmother. So can Khloe, by the way. I don't know what Chris taught them, but they can fucking cook like black people Thanksgiving. I don't know where it happened or how it happened, but they cook good as shit. I think that we were young and, we were, I met Kim at Ray J's house. And I think her and Ray J were like, nah, literally.
It's crazy.
I think her and Ray were like kind of like dissolving. And I asked Ray, I was like, yo, who is that? Me, I'm from Compton. I've never seen an Armenian in my life before this point. Never. Right? And definitely not an Armenian with ass. And so I was like, damn, she fine as fuck, right? And so I asked Ray J, I'm like, what's up with her? He was like, oh, that's my girl. He's like, you like her? Like, I don't know, get her number. This is what Ray said.
He said, that's my girl, but if you like her, get her number.
Bro, have you ever interviewed Ray J or talked to Ray J?
No, I know Ray J.
Ray J one of the realest niggas around, bro. And he been around Hollywood and shit longer than like most people. So again, he was like, yeah. So I was like, all right, I guess I'll get a number. And I got her number. She gave me her number. We start chilling. Not on no instant, sexual type shit. Kim ain't easy. You know what I'm saying?
Was it like a real relationship or just kind of a?
It was a real relationship. It wasn't that long, but it was, it was like, I don't know, probably about 8 months. And
okay.
But again, this is at she was busy. She was like filming with Paris all the time, and I was like at the beginning of my almost the beginning of my career, so I was going a lot. But yeah, Kim was always good to me, man. I was good to her. She was good. Now, I mean, Kim is Kim, and Ye, that's my man. That's his wife, ex-wife. They got a lot of kids, and so it's nothing but love and respect. So,
Was this before or after the tape with Ray J came out?
This is before.
Oh.
Yeah.
Aha. Okay. Interesting. And what's actually interesting is I forgot to mention this. When me and Wack were talking out essentially what had happened with our falling out and everything else like that, one of the things I mentioned was one of the problems I had, because me and Ray J actually have a history. VladTV was at SRC Records, which is part of Universal, and Ray J was signed to SRC. Mm-hmm. So me and Ray J, I'd done interviews with him, we had a relationship and everything else like that.
SRC, Steve Rifkin?
Yeah, Steve Rifkin. It used to be Loud. It got changed to SRC, which is Akon, Melanie Fiona, and whatever else, right? So at the point that me and Wack are arguing on the phone, he puts Ray J in on three-way. And I remember I talked to Ray J. I was like, yo, the part that kind of hurt me was me and you have a relationship and you let someone who works for you bug out on me. And Wack said, well, see, this is where you had your mistake because you're thinking you're talking to Ray J, the artist, but Ray J is actually a Pyru, and I'm a Pyru general. So Ray J is not going to say anything against me.
Right.
Well, because the thing is that there was a discrepancy when I talked to Ray about this was when you and I had that argument, you put Ray on the phone. And Ray J said that I never got on the phone. So I'm like...
No, y'all was definitely on the phone.
That's what I'm saying. So when I talked to Ray J, I'm like, listen, like, my whole thing, because me and Ray J go back to the SRC days.
Yeah,
I knew Ray J before I ever met you. I'd
back.
interviewed Ray J. Ray J was signed to the label I was working at, SRC Records. So me and Ray go on. So I'm like, Ray, like, why would you get on the phone when this is happening with your man? When you know me, I wouldn't let one of my people talk crazy to you.
No. See, it's the problem.
See, but that was my rationale
Y'all
at the time.
both see Ray as the R&B singer.
Yeah.
Ray J Pyro.
Okay.
He on the phone with a G homie.
Got it.
He ain't got no chance, no
Okay, fair
option
enough.
but to stand with me.
And everyone in the comments was like, Ray J's a Pyru? This is the first time I had ever heard it.
Right.
But you know that.
I do.
That's interesting. What's the whole story with Ray J, the whole Pyru thing?
It's just, I mean, it's just Los Angeles, bro. And Ray J is, Ray J is from Stevenson Village. I mean, wait, is it Stevenson Village? I can't remember. I don't know if it's Stevenson Village. Don't get me wrong, but Ray J grew up in a Pyru hood in Carson, California, and so yeah, he is affiliated. So I mean, it's just as simple as that.
Right. So the thing with Kim runs its course, but later on, there's a rumor that you dated Khloe.
I dated Khloe.
Was a little weird because you're dating both sisters?
You know what it is, man. The reserve with the Kardashians is pretty smooth, man. I don't know. They let each other live, man. I don't know. And low key, the way that they are as a whole, and I mean all the sisters and Chris, who is a great person. The way that she raised her daughters is they just live their life, man. And I don't think nobody ever gets too mad at anybody about anything. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what you see on TV, I've been like in that inner circle. And yeah, nobody's really stopping anybody from living their best life over there or holding fucking grudges. I don't know. I think they might be all mad at me now at this point. I don't like, but you know what's crazy about that is that if I see him, I think it's gonna be all love. I just haven't put myself in anywhere that they would be or vice versa. But every time I see him, it's all love. But I think I don't know what I did the last time I did something. I probably said something wrong. They probably didn't like it. But all the Kardashians do, and not to slight them or anything, is they just roll shit out about their lives and everybody's lives on television for, I don't know, 20 fucking years. So it's not like what I did or what I say is like anything far off from what they're doing. It's just like certain things make certain people mad. And I get it, but I got nothing but love and respect for Kim and Khloe and definitely Kourtney. This is my favorite Kardashian, by the way. And she's now, married to one of my best friends and inside and outside of music, which is Travis Barker. That's my dog. And so yeah, and then Rob's my homie. Rob is the black sheep, you know what I'm saying, on purpose. But yeah, they're a good family, man, and I fuck with them, and I don't got nothing but love for them.
You and Black China dated at one point?
We didn't date.
No?
No.
So that's not true.
We was at a strip club and had a night. Just a night.
Just a night.
Just a night.
Okay. India Love?
India Love, yeah. India Love. She ain't not a Kardashian, man.
No, I'm just going through your dating history.
Oh, yeah, my dating history.
I'm outside the Kardashian circle now.
India's a good girl, man, from a good family. And I love, and not slighting anybody, but I love when people are from, women are from two-parent homes. They're just a little bit different. And the dynamic is different, and you can tell. And not having daddy issues is a fucking huge thing. It plays a huge role in a woman's life, especially when that woman comes into your life, because she comes in knowing how to, do certain things around the household and shit. So yeah, but India was good.
Well, and recently TMZ caught you at the Nobu in Malibu.
Yeah.
With Shanice Hairston, who is Evelyn Lozada's daughter.
Yeah.
So you guys are a thing?
You know what? I met Shanice and we met over Instagram, and We went on a date to Noble, and we had a good time. We had a great time, and she's an amazing person, and she's really sweet. One of the sweetest people that I've ever met. She's a real sweet girl, and the internet took it and made it what it was, and TMZ took it and made it what it was. But yeah, she's an amazing girl, and we had a good time.
Isn't it annoying sometimes that like you're just living your life and having private relationships, and next thing you know, they're plastered all over the internet?
The thing about
that
is
deal with that.
Yeah, the thing about that is if you're a celebrity, right, of any stature, like A-list, Z-list, whatever list, you got to know that if you step out and you think that you're going somewhere on a private date in the public, that it's probably not going to be that private.
Right.
So, man, I mean, once you sign up for this lifestyle, celebrity lifestyle, like I said, of any level, I mean, it just comes with the territory. So I'm never mad at it. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you can't be a motherfucking fireman and be like, nah, I don't really fuck with smoke. Like, like what? Like, right. Nah, man, it just is. Well, some things are what they are, and you got to accept it, or just don't be a celebrity, I guess.
Well, in terms of some of your other beefs that we did talk about last time, there was the whole Razzcast situation.
Yeah.
I guess you had taken, there was a bar that you had that you felt was about you. I guess there's a song called Caution, where he talked about West Coast lyricists with East Coast love. He said, 1,000 tattoos won't raise it. So when you get murked, I'm going to raise your son.
Right.
And he didn't name you. So Raz said that wasn't about you. Said it was a general statement, but you felt it was about you.
I don't even remember, man. I just know when I ran into him, ping, ping, pow. That's all I remember about that. And again, I had a ample amount of love for Razzcast and his lyricism, as far as being one of the first West Coast like lyricist that was sort of underground, right? Not so mainstream, but that was accepted on the East Coast. I thought that was huge. And so that motivated me to like rap outside of, my region. So yeah, I had a lot of love for Razzcast when I was coming up, before I was before I was really, really in hip hop. And so when that bar that was definitely about me was, said about me, I took offense to it, and then, it was some physical altercations involved with that.
Well, Wack100, who's your manager?
I'm beefing with him?
No.
Oh, I was about to say, no. I'm about to hightail out of here.
No, you're not beefing with him. But some of the stuff that he says, I feel you are not aligned with, especially the Nipsey stuff.
Right.
Because you and Nipsey were friends. In fact, you have a Nipsey tattoo on your face.
Right.
The Prolific.
Yeah.
Right, which is something that Nipsey did first. And me and Wack talked about this. He basically said that he didn't feel Nipsey was a legend.
Right.
And I kind of understand where he's coming from, because at the time that Nipsey had died, I felt like he was a little bit more of an underground artist. Like that album that Nipsey dropped at the end, I thought was going to put him over the top.
Right.
But that was his first like official album, right? It was all mixtapes up to that point. In LA, he was a legend, but he didn't necessarily have those huge over the top songs. I think that's what Wack meant, but everyone kind of took it how they took it.
Well, here's the thing, man. It just depends on your definition of legend, because around these parts, he was definitely a legend.
100%. That's why I said LA.
He hadn't put out a album yet.
Yeah.
So you had that Big L effect. Like Big L is a motherfucking legend.
Okay, I see where you're going with
anybody. You know East Coast rap, and you know that the powers that be, Nas, the Jay-Z's, the Busta Rhymes, you know the respect level that they had for Big L. They know what Big L was and what he would have been had he not met his early demise. And so it's the same thing with Nipsey. Nip is a legend by his own right. You know what I'm saying? And he was going to be bigger than life. It just he was like climbing the ladder.
He needed more time.
It is what it is. He needed a lot more time. I definitely think he needed a lot more time. He should have been afforded a lot more time, and it hurts my heart that he's not here. And so Wack on that had an opinion, and he felt a certain way about that, and he made sense for him in the way that he felt. But other people feel differently. I feel differently. I wasn't in agreement with what he said, and we talked about that. We didn't argue about it. We bumped heads about what he said about Nip, and we agreed to disagree, and that's cool because we're not the same person. We don't have to share the same opinion, but I felt like Nip was a legend before and after, and Wack felt like he had to earn it some more. I don't know.
Well, you were supposed to have a Nipsey Hussle verse on Drillmatic, and from what I understand, because of your affiliation with Wack, Black Sam, which is Nipsey's brother, pulled that feature from you. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I don't necessarily know if it was Black Sam or Rock Nation or whoever is over Nipsey's, estate as far as when it comes to hip hop shit. But I didn't feel no way about it. I'm not mad at Black Sam or Rock Nation or anybody. If you're in charge of Nip's estate and he is in heaven or not here anymore, and y'all don't want it on my album because y'all got a thing with Wack or Wack got a thing with y'all, it's all good. The album's coming out. It's cool. It just won't have a Nip verse, which was unfortunate, but I don't feel slighted about that. It is what it is. I know my relationship with Nip. I know what I did to help Nip on his way up, and Nip knows that. He was very vocal about my influence and what I did for him when he was here speaking from the horse's mouth. And I love Nip to death. You know what I'm saying? And literally. Like, that's my nigga still. And it is what it is. I don't feel no way about that.
Well, I remember you told an interesting story. I think it was on Drink Champs, where you would always see Nipsey when you would drive through Crenshaw, and he used to always have...
I saw every version of Nip.
Incense.
Saw Nip with
he was selling incense.
I saw Nip with the curl. I saw Nip with the braids. I saw, he used to sell incense, and he used to hustle. He Eritrean, man. He used to, he used to hustle, man. And literally, he's, Nipsey Hussle. But Nip was a man of many hats, man. But one thing that he was more of that I wish people know, but if it's one of those Tupac things, man, it's like, this guy was intellectually smarter than, most people, and how and where he would have been at this point now, and what he would have been doing now. And if Pac was alive, he would have transitioned into movies and left rap and then became he would have been just a whole different person. And I hate when that shit happens to those type of guys, man. So yeah, it's just sad all the way around. But I miss Nip like everybody else does. And he is and will always be a legend to me.
Well, there's an interesting story that you told about the first time Nipsey tried to give you a CD.
Yeah. I used to get on a 110, and take the 110 to the 105, and I take the 105 and I get off on Crenshaw because I was going to Melrose, but instead of going the easy, taking the freeways around and then getting off on Wilshire, going down, I would just get off on Crenshaw and take Crenshaw down because I would probably see some bitches, or I was young and rap, and I had this, white Range Rover, and, you just take it to the streets, riding through the streets of LA. And this one particular day, I was behind this fucking, I was trying to make it through this light because, I'm rolling through the 60s, I'm a blood. I keep the my lap just because it's LA. I respect it. I respect LA. That's why I'm here today, because I don't disrespect my city or the hoods around it. I understand, the capabilities and the possibilities about what could happen to you in the LA streets. And so I always keep my shit on me for that reason. So I didn't want to be stopping at no light on Crenshaw and Slauson, but I couldn't it was a car in front of me, and that motherfucker didn't go through the light, and neither did the ones on the sides. And so I was like, all right, stuck at this light. As soon as the light turned red, I look across the street, Crips, right? And they start walking towards the car. When I looked at them, they looked at me. One of them was Nip, of course. I had seen him, a few times before that, but not on, nothing like that. But they walking towards the car, him and Jay Stone, and a few other niggas. I think Ren Paul was with him, and a few other niggas who I can't remember. And I grab my heat. I cocked it because I don't know what's up, but I know I'm dolo and I know they, they kind of deep. So once he get close, he take a CD out of the pocket of his hoodie and he handed it to me. And I used to love those days because you literally would like, burn your own CDs and then you take a pen and you write your track list down and then you put your phone number on it as a demo. It's like our days. Before it was the tapes, then it got the CDs, and I'm glad that I played a part in that era of hip hop because I was able to hand off my demo the old school way. So he handed it to me and literally fucking like, I just took a deep breath because I was like, man, I survive another day, right? Because I thought they was gonna be tripping before he put the CD out. And then I remember after it was cool, I was like, yo. And then he turned around and I was like, you got your number on this? He was like, yeah, it's on there, cuz. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna call you. So, I end up calling him and he came to the studio with Big U, Steve Lobel. And we did They Roll and we did like 2 other songs. And that's, that's my Nip story.
It honestly kind of hurts me that Big U and Wack are going at it right now because I've been cool with Big U forever.
Right.
He's been on my show, and is it a little weird? I mean, I don't know. You have a relationship with you as well.
Yeah, but I don't. Here's the thing, man. It's like those are grown men. I don't know what the beef is about,
right?
And I'm not in it. If I was in it or in the middle of it or I had something to do with it, then I would have to probably pick a side and stand up, stand up on 10 toes and really hold it down. But I don't know why they beefing. I haven't asked Wack. I haven't asked you.
It's a convoluted story, man.
Right.
I remember when I was on No Jumper, I quickly touched on it. And, it's just, listen, I just want people that I know to get along. I respect Wack and I respect Big U.
I respect
that's my thing. And at one point before they were friends. They were like actually super close. So to me, it's just like
Cain and Abel was brothers, man. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
But the thing is, it's like when it comes to LA and it comes to the street politics, man, if it don't got nothing to do with me, I'll just stay out of it.
Fair enough. Because at one point you would, I think it was an Instagram or something where you said you're talking about Wack100 and Suge. And I said, I'll take a head-up fade with both of you on site.
Yeah.
Well, what was that even over? Do you remember?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I'm crazy, man. Sometimes I'm crazy. I'll fight Suge, though. I'll fight Wack.
Have you and Wack ever got into it physically?
I think we probably had like snatched each other once or twice.
Okay.
We get into it, man.
Because both of y'all are fairly big. You're
I'm
taller.
bigger than him, bro.
You're taller, but he's stocky.
Yeah, I'm stocky.
You're stocky as well.
I'm bigger than Wack. You trying to make Wack bigger than me?
I'm not saying he's bigger than you, but he can't fight.
I don't give a fuck. I can't fight.
You can fight too. I'm just saying, I wouldn't want to see both of y'all go at it.
You trying to line it up?
No, I am not. I'm doing the opposite of lining it up.
On the roof? Yeah, nah, it's all good, man. Nah, you know what? Like, me and Wack got a long history, man. And actually, he was in jail with my older brother, who is no longer with us, and they fought.
Oh, okay.
Wack know that my family got hands, and so I think that's why he is a little bit more overprotective of me because him and my brother fought, and then they squashed their beef in jail, and then once he came to my life, he kind of felt like, your brother was a rider and he died, gang banging. So let me, be sort of a big brother to you. And he's done well at that, man, as far as like defending me and my family and holding it down and just always, I know if I call Wack and I say it's on. And he's going to drop everything and it's not going to be about money no more and it's going to be about what we on. And that is what it is. And that's why I don't overstep my boundaries when it comes to what he doing. I can talk to him, but whether he gonna listen or not is I don't fucking know. And it's the same way for me because sometimes I get the level-headed Wack and he like, yo, bro, we can't be doing this. And I'll be like, motherfucker, you. Like, what?
Look at you.
Get the fuck off. Get the fuck off my phone, nigga.
You're on Clubhouse.
But
he's with everybody right now.
Nah, it's Wack. That's my nigga. He gonna do Wack shit. And I think at this point, anybody who knows him just know that that's what it is. And, you got to gauge every Wack beef, which is 1 million of the motherfuckers.
Right.
That's who the fuck you should have called. But you just got to let Wack do Wack. And, I hope they resolve the issues because, again, we never want to see, shit end, the way that we don't want to see it end. But, yeah, I just mind my business, man.
Well, there was a story Jamie Foxx talked about where he had a party, I believe, at his house. You were there. Eddie Murphy was there. Salma
Suge.
Hayek was there. Snoop was there.
Yeah.
And Suge showed up.
Right.
And I think he even told you, right?
Deep again. He told me, he was like, Suge outside. I was like, all right. Like, I'm at this point, bro, I'm rolling around LA 30 and 40 deep when I go outside, so I can meet anything head on. But Fox, everybody in that motherfucker was scared.
Hey, didn't helicopters show up and everything?
It was helicopters, police, everything.
That's wild.
Because
helicopters because of
Fox,
Suge Knight.
because Fox wanted Suge to leave. Suge wouldn't leave. So then at that point, I guess it got to trespassing. People called the police or whatever, and it's crazy because that was a crazy ass party
At his house, right?
Yeah, that party was crazy.
In Westlake?
Yeah,
Yeah, I've been there before.
Yeah,
dope house.
Fox was scared though.
He was scared.
Yeah, Fox was scared. Everybody in that motherfucker was scared.
Well, I remember there's in your song 100, you said that was on Suge's watch. I'll take Suge's watch.
Yeah.
What was that about?
It was just saying the mentality, again, like going back to what me and you talked about earlier. It's like he from Compton, on the east side, and I'm from Compton, on the west side. And I mean, it's like, I did shit on Suge's watch. I'll take Suge's watch was basically saying that my mentality is just as loony as his was. You know what I'm saying? It's like, Suge was getting money at a time where I was in the streets banging, robbing, stealing. So it's like that. It was just a play on words and a play on the mentality of a young Compton gang member.
Well, at one point, you and Gucci Mane were supposed to have a boxing match.
Were we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Okay.
I think Gucci, I don't know what the fuck Gucci was on or what he was mad about.
This was the old Gucci, by the way.
Yeah.
This is the before jail.
Yeah, I don't know, but I seen Gucci after jail, and I don't know. I think we talked about it at Sirius Satellite. We talked about it. Is that a thing, Sirius Satellite? Yeah, Sirius. We in New York. We talked about it and we squashed it. We took a few pictures.
Well, it didn't seem like a beef. It seemed like an actual paid celebrity boxing match.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, not a fight. I'm talking about an actual real boxing match.
No, but there was a small
Wack
little,
even talked about that.
There was a small little disagreement between me and Gucci. I can't remember what it was over, but we talked about it in New York, and whatever it was, we squashed it. Because like I said, Gucci respect my hand, and I respect Gucci's hand, and Gucci a good nigga. So
okay, here we go. I actually found it. There was a song called "The Definition" where he dissed you. And actually, our last interview in 2000, our interview a while ago in 2012, where you actually said you'll get in the ring and box with Gucci.
Right.
Necessary.
I mean, I still would. And
Yeah.
Gucci still would. I mean,
Right.
you talking about two niggas that's not gonna turn down no face. So I mean,
Right.
it's good. And when there's respect on both sides, it is what it is, man. Like I respect Gucci, he respect me. It's all good.
Well, it was just announced today that Mike Tyson and Jake Paul are going to box.
Mike Tyson and Jake Paul?
Yes. It's official on Netflix. Live.
Yeah, that's gonna make a lot of money.
Ain't it though?
I mean, that's what the first thing I thought about was how much money that's gonna make.
Who you got?
Mike Tyson? Yeah, Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson's 57.
I don't give a fuck how old Mike Tyson was. Have you seen Mike Tyson punching shit at 57?
I interviewed him a couple years ago. Yeah.
No, but I'm
he's a
saying
beast,
recently,
yeah.
like.
No, he's still fast.
So here's the thing. And this is going to come out before that probably, right? So Jake Paul has got to condition himself for the actual sentence. I'm going to fight Mike Tyson, right? Because you disarm yourself when you say that. If you said it to yourself in the mirror and you were like, yo, I'm about to fight Mike Tyson, you instantly become a fucking skinny, starving kid, just mentality-wise, right? And then you train and you get ready, but who are you getting ready to fight again?
Mike Tyson.
So every time you say the name, you just become a kid again. So what Jake needs to do, this is my form of like training, is just say you're preparing for a fight. Do not say his name to yourself. Right. Because every time you say Mike Tyson, you whoop your own ass.
Oh yeah, listen, I interviewed Evander Holyfield. And the one thing he said, which was absolutely true, was he said, I wasn't scared of Mike. Because they had a history. They used to spar together when they were younger and
right.
And so forth.
So that's
when he got in that ring, he had to show Mike right away. Because he said, if you show that you're scared of Mike, he will demolish you.
Right, as soon as he see it.
But Evander,
he's like a pit bull.
Yeah, exactly. But Evander basically said, I'm not scared of him. And he figured that out very quickly, which is why those fights went the way they did. By 1982,
age 20, you actually met Mike Tyson.
Sure.
And you guys sparred together during this time?
No. We didn't spar into 84.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 84.
Got it. And what was it like to spar Mike Tyson back then?
Well, the thing is that Mike used to knock everybody out. So, you know, it was kind of like, he had his own sparring partner that he knocked out every day. He had people come in there and he'd knock them out. And so Mike and I, we both on the losing squad. So we on the losing squad and stuff like that. So this is the reason why I realized all the things that he could do, because he did it so well. He was an expert in rope, expert and hitting the bag. Everything that he did great.
Yeah.
And I sit there and I was kind of watch, and I said, wow, man, he's good. But in the game of boxing, it's about what you can do to a person to get them to move, to capitalize on which way they're gonna move. But Mike was all one of the fighters who charge at you all the time.
Yeah. And
what I had that a lot of people didn't have, I had good rhythm and good movement. So I can pop back and make you run into my. I had fast hands and like this and what I had too, I had this thing where that I wasn't afraid of nobody. Mike just has one of those names, bro. I don't care who you say it. Like you big as hell. You know what I'm saying? But if Vlad told you, yo, when we go outside, Mike Tyson waiting to fight you, you'd be like, nigga, what?
Well, I interviewed Mike and he got mad at me.
Or me.
Listen,
as big as we are.
When I interviewed Mike, he got mad at me during the interview.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I was actually scared. What is it, here you are, this multimillionaire, and, it seems like you've always been attracted to the guys that are still in the streets to a certain degree. Do you think that's a fair statement?
You think I'm attracted to them?
Well, not attracted to them, but I mean, you like having them around. You're friends with them and you
You
maintain
think I like
this.
having them around?
I'm just asking.
You think I'm friends? What do you think? You think I like having them around?
I don't know. You just spoke nicely about Zip, so I just thought.
Yeah, you know who these guys are? When you talk, what do you say about me? I'm this big, whatever I am, right? But know who those guys are? Those are the guys that when I'm, whoever I am is a nobody. I mean, those are the guys that live in the same building with me. They give my mother salt or sugar if they need a milk. They're the same guys.
It's just Mike.
It's like, Mike Tyson.
This ain't Mike Tyson fight. So it's like if a motherfucker told you Mike Tyson outside waiting to fight you, you're going to be like, oh shit, the gloves right? Is the fuck, I got to stand up tall. Like anybody you tell that Mike Tyson is outside ready to fight you, it's going to feel like, whoa, I need to call my mom. Like it's Mike. So yeah, Jake Paul, I think that's going to be crazy. I'm definitely watching that.
I'm definitely watching
but
that.
I got Mike for sure.
You got Mike for sure?
Fuck yeah, it's Mike Tyson, bro. It's Mike, man. Are they fighting with them fucking them pads on the?
No, it'll be not on Netflix.
And can you knock a motherfucker out?
Yes.
Yeah, all right.
Mike Tyson.
Fuck.
Okay.
And you do know that, never mind, I'm gonna say it again. It's Mike Tyson.
When I met you, it was on your block, Cedar Block.
Right.
I went out there, right, when we were working on Devil's Advocate and everything else like that. I got to meet all the homies on the block. Me and Big Face actually formed, somewhat of a relationship and everything else like that. And I remember how close everyone was and sort of the camaraderie and how you would take everyone along and so forth. And then things kind of fell apart.
Right.
And I remember on the song One Night on Doctor's Advocate, you actually kind of broke down the whole situation.
Right.
Right. And I remember that one line where you say, keep it real. I spent 1.5 mil on my people.
Right.
And there was just a lot of stuff in that song that just felt like a lot of hurt and pain and everything else like that. What do you think caused that rift?
Money. Yeah.
Because you were getting money.
And everybody can't go. And I mean, when you get money, people want it to never run out for them. You know what I'm saying? But as you get money, you have to start prioritizing you. And prioritizing the shit and the people that you need to take care of. So my mother, my son, my girl who's pregnant, just like you literally have to like prioritize yourself. So when you start off in rap, it's you and the homies, right? Because you ain't got shit, they ain't got shit, you're on the same level. Once you start getting money, if you don't give everybody what they feel they deserve, then motherfuckers fall off. Then jealousy is, starts to set in and people start looking at you different. Then all of a sudden you're not the homie, you Hollywood and all of that shit. And I ain't never been Hollywood a day in my life. Everybody that know me, all the way, from my brother all the way to the little homies that's running Cedar Block right now, know that I'm gonna push the issue. I'm gonna force the issue every time. So it's like I retain my respect, throughout my life. Gang banging and rap and family man and father and career and all that shit. But yeah, man, money. It's always money, man.
It was sad to watch from the outside looking at it. It was definitely sad, just all around.
Cause you was there in the happier days, you know what I'm saying?
I was there during the happy days.
Right.
Everyone was happy. Like, yo, one of our guys made it, and he's still here. Right. And I remember you had bought all the houses on that street, so no one had to pay rent anymore. And when you moved around, and you even talked about that, you said
once I moved out,
took you to award shows. There go Jay right there. Had all you guys in suits cleaning their pair of fresh Nike Airs. I'm supposed to enjoy this shit, but it's quite clear the last 12 months been a fucking nightmare.
Right.
And that shit, when I heard that, I'm like, ooh, he really means that.
Yeah, because some of my own homies try to like set me up to be murdered and all kinds of shit.
Really?
Yeah.
So someone actually had an attempt on your life?
Multiple attempts.
You were shot at?
Shot at, in shootouts, yeah.
Right, because there's a line in that song. Remember the bullet holes in my son's car seat? My baby mama found 4 shells. I ain't got one. I ain't get one.
Yeah.
Your car got shot up with? My
car got shot up, but I was supposed to be, my son was supposed to be in the car seat, but I hadn't brought him out the house yet. So I got into the shootout right as I was coming. I went to put the diaper bag in the car and I went to put my backpack in the car and I went back in and I came back out and then was in the shootout and he was still in the house.
So your son would have been had he been in that car seat.
And then, I would, the thing about me, and I'll say it on camera because I ain't never been one to shy away from nothing. I'm not one of those fathers who lies about if you do something to my kid, I'm going to do something to you. Like if you harm my children, I'm going to.
Yes, you should.
And I feel like every real father shares the same sentiment. So I don't feel bad saying it on camera or saying it to anybody. But I'm only I told you earlier, the only reason I give a fuck about anything is because of them. So if you harm them, you are fucking with my lifeline and your own. And so I'm gonna show up.
Well, you lost a lot of people on the way. Before your first album dropped, Billboard, who was your best friend at the time?
Yeah.
He got.
Yep.
So you never got to see all the stuff that you guys were working
a little
for.
bit. He was there for, the early stages, but never got to see the magnitude of what it will become. And by the way, he would have been a fixture on the West Coast rap scene by now for sure.
Yeah, I think when I came around, he was already gone.
Right.
And then most recently, your friend Avante Rose.
Yeah.
You guys go back to kindergarten.
Long way.
And I've seen you guys together. That was like
always
your
together.
right hand.
Yeah, man.
And I guess it was a murder-suicide. I guess he had a girl and then himself.
Right.
I guess once he realized what had happened, he just didn't want to go through the repercussions of it. So it was just sad both ways. And I remember you had a big Instagram post on it and said that you were crying and, you're not excusing what he did because everyone lost in the process. Was this one of the hardest things you dealt with?
You know what, man? When he himself and he her, it was like if somebody him, right? Or he died in like a car accident or something like that, I think it would have hit me a lot harder than it did. But the fact that he took someone else's life and then took his own, my emotions were all over the place because I was sad and I was angry at the same time. But then I didn't want to be selfish because I felt like he, in that moment, felt like there was nothing else to live for. And that right there was sad because he has daughters, you know? So that part. So we talked about daddy issues and what that does to a young woman in her adulthood. Some women turn out fine and some women have issues for their entire lives. Well, his daughters have no father. He also took someone's daughter from them. So that father doesn't have a daughter or one of his daughters and whatnot. It was just a tricky situation. Emotionally, it fucked me up. And so I had to just disconnect myself from it, or I would have been on a down spiral and just in a dark place. Cause I was in a dark place for 3 days. And it's funny because we talked about Drake earlier. Drake got this thing called this, and this is the dopest thing Drake ever told me. It's just called the 72-hour rule. He said, grieve, be angry, be mad for 72 hours, but don't make any decisions. And after 72 hours, if you still feel the same way that you did, you know, during the 72 hours and before about the incident, then act how you want to act. And ever since I applied that to my life after 3 days, man, I'm kind of just like back to normal, you know? And so I hadn't even thought about that situation again until you just brought it up. Yeah. I try to distance myself from it emotionally because it's hard, right? There's a lot of moving pieces in it, a lot of moving parts, a lot of people angry, a lot of people felt like I should have did more. I could have saved the day, but some things are just
it's out of your control.
Out of your control. And there's things I beat myself up about. But I was a good friend to him our entire life. I took him around the world fucking 20 times. I put money in his pocket. I showed him a lifestyle that we never imagined was possible, coming up the way that we did. And everybody that knows me knows that. So at the end of the day, I feel like I serviced our friendship to the best of my ability, and I don't have any regrets.
Well, yeah, he was the one that took you home from the hospital when you got shot. He was there in the hospital every time one of your kids was born.
Right.
The closeness was at the highest levels. So to lose someone in such a tragic manner, yeah, it's hard for me to even get my head around it.
Yeah, man. My and you know, my kids cried about that. So he was and I'm trying to, you know, keep it cool. But yeah, that was my dog, man. That was my right-hand man, and he's just no longer with us. But I've dealt with death that close more than I needed to in life. And so I can compartmentalize, and these days I kind of know where to put it, those emotions. I know how to deal with it. I know where to put it. And I've lost in the last 5 years, I've lost my grandmother, my father, and my best friend. So, and I'm going to lose more people, or they're going to lose me. But that's, again, we always are going to have talking points that we go back to in our interview process amongst friends, where we get to touch on things that make sense. And what makes the most sense is that all living things must die.
Well, recently, Jam Master Jay's were found guilty. And one of the guys that was his godson, who would take pictures by his mural, talking about how much he missed his homie. He's the one.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, shit like that, it'll never make sense. It's like Jam Master Jay. It's like, but you don't know the inner workings of people's relationships and family shit. We just like I'm saying on, you know, on those situations, we're outsiders, you know what I'm saying? And so I only know what goes on in my life, and who knows why his godson would him, but I don't know. It's probably over money or jealousy or something like that.
Well, it was over, I mean, based on what the court, you know, came out in court, it was over a drug deal gone bad.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Jam Master Jay wasn't financially where he was, you know, in his younger days, and he was supporting a lot of people. Started to, you know, make some side money. Actually, when his plug was Southwest Tea from BMF.
Wow.
And apparently these guys felt like they were cut out of a deal or something, and then as revenge, they came back and killed him.
That's crazy.
Sad story. Sad
Tragic,
story.
Man.
But in hip-hop, you see this a lot. Fetty Wap is in jail right now because the rap money slowed down and he started selling
right
and got caught. It's like when it comes very quickly, and I've dealt with this myself, when the money comes very quickly when you're young, when it suddenly drops out, you're not emotionally prepared for what happens next.
Yeah, I think a lot of that is the materialism, the materialistic chasers. Like me, I don't chase money. I just let it come to me. I grew up, like I said, you grew up. We grew up without. And so I'm like a minimalist, man. I only need a few things to make me happy. So like, and then money is definitely not it. Or I could literally, I tell people all the time, like if I wanted to be a billionaire, I could be a billionaire. I got enough charisma. I'm educated. I'm street smart as well as book smart. I walk in any room with a suit on. I'm going to close the deal like anybody can close the deal. I just don't want to be a billionaire. It's like Big said, more money, more problems. We talked about me having, those issues with money in the early stages of my career. And so, yeah, I don't chase money, man. I got enough. I'm cool. I never even thought I would make it past 18, 21, 25, 30. I'm 44 sitting here and I'm a millionaire 10 times over, bro. And I'm happy with where I'm at. My kids go to private school. My oldest son is in Oregon in his junior year. So it's like, I'm good. Mm-hmm. And so I'm just not chasing it. And whenever you chase it, man, there's problems that come with that shit.
Well, we talked about in our last interview that before you got signed to Aftermath, you and Diddy were running around together.
Right.
You fast forward 2024 and Diddy's in a whole new world.
Right.
With the Cassie lawsuits, saying that he blew up Kid Cudi's car. Then the whole freak off situation and the gay rumors and the Meek Mills getting dragged into it and everything else like that. What are your thoughts on it as someone? Did you and Puff maintain a relationship over the years or not really?
I still got a relationship with Puff. Whenever I talk to him, it's always gonna be the same. He ain't never been nothing to me but a good person. I've been around Puff for millions of times, and I ain't never seen, none of the shit that people are talking about, but that's just my experience. I don't know what other people experience, if it's true, if it's not true or whatever. I just know Puff always been good, a good mentor and a good big brother and somebody in hip hop that I looked up to for obvious reasons, to me. So, outside of the Cassie situation, which, I think they settled that, right? So he had that.
Oh, he settled it quick.
Right. So that means that he owned up to whatever it was that they had.
Well, just to be fair, I don't want to interrupt you, but settling doesn't mean you own up.
I'm not saying own up. I'm saying he took the responsibility to settle something that was in the media that needed to be settled, is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So outside of that, all the extra shit, it just seems like, and again, I'm not saying that people who are accusing nobody ain't right or he ain't right or nothing. It's not my business. But if we're going to speak on it, I'm going to say that sometimes when black moguls reach a certain point in their career or their life, or they, let's say, go at it with, I don't know, their alcohol company, or they're at odds with bigger corporations, this seems to happen. It happened with Kanye and Adidas. They try to tear you down. It seems like right after Diddy said he's parting ways with the Ciroc people, whatever, this shit came out. And I don't know if it has any connection. I'm just saying that, 80 fucking years after Bill Cosby did the Cosby Show, women are saying he put a motherfucking pill in they drink, and then Cosby goes to jail. I'm just saying it seems like tear down black celebrities at a certain point in their career is a trend. And so again, I don't know what's true, I don't know what's false, but I know that my rapport with Diddy has always been 100. He's always been a good nigga to me, and I'm just reading headlines like you, but I don't have anything to say in any direction about that other than my personal interaction with a person that I saw to be, a super good nigga.
Well, Umar Johnson, he said that Eminem can't be one of the greatest rappers because he's not black. Now, what's interesting is in the song with you and Eminem, We Ain't, there's a line, they say shit, but fuck 'em, Shady one of the greatest. I'm so sick and tired of this black shit, this white shit.
Right.
When people say that, saying that if you're white in hip hop, you can't be one of the greats.
I don't agree with, was it Dr. Umar?
Dr. Umar Johnson.
I don't agree with Dr. Umar with him saying that. Eminem is undoubtedly one of the greatest rappers ever for obvious reasons. Again, Michael Jordan probably can't even fucking dunk from the free throw line today. So if we want to say, well, Eminem's not great today, well, motherfucking Jordan can't fucking jump from the free throw line. Yeah. So it is. We all get older, but that doesn't mean that we don't respect or understand the the magnitude of what somebody did when they were, at their beginning and at their peak. So Eminem is for sure, one of the best rappers ever. I don't give a fuck if he white, black, or whatever. Dr. Umar is seems to be pretty educated, and he also has an opinion and a platform. So I mean, I respect his opinion, but I don't gotta fucking agree with it. And I'm not even like I said, I haven't seen Eminem in 20 years, and we had our little back and forth, which is all good. But yeah, I'm still. It still is what it is. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm not gonna lie about it. Like, Eminem is one of the greatest rappers of all time. He can take this soundbite, use it against me. I don't give a fuck. Like, it is what it is. But Eminem respects me at the end of the day. If you ask him, and he's gonna be honest, he's gonna tell you that he respects me and my pen game. He knows what I'm capable of, and that is what it is. Dr. Umar had an opinion, and I don't disrespect it, but I don't agree.
Well, yeah, I remember you talked about how when you guys were recording on your first album, when Eminem did his verse, he was like, what do you think? And you were like, what do I think? You're Eminem.
Yeah.
At that point, he was like Diamond already, right?
I think, and the same thing happened to me when I was recording with Drake. He was just like, you fuck with it. I'm like, my nigga, you Drake.
Right.
Like,
and Nas also did the same thing with
Nas did it. And Nas sat in the studio in New York with me, and he was just kind of like drinking wine and doing Nas shit. And I was like, I'm so excited to be even in the studio recording with Nas, and Nas is just relaxed. Like, he's just looking like Nas. Like, you know what I'm saying? He looking like the nigga that wrote Ether. So everybody got their thing. I was in the studio with Raekwon, and when he raps, he walks in place. Walks. Like, it's crazy. He just like walks in place, but he ain't going nowhere, but he rapping. It's just like everybody got their thing. And Eminem, like, writing in circles is some of the craziest shit I've ever seen, but and he reads it like that when he's recording.
Well, when you look at LA, we've had a lot of losses in terms of rappers in LA. Of course, you have Biggie, but then you got Nipsey, PNB Rock, Draco the Ruler. You were on stage when he got, right? Slim 400, Pop Smoke. It's funny because I remember in I think it was Drink Champs, you said you spoke to Pop Smoke 3 days before he died. I spoke to him around the same time. I think it may have been a week, because we were trying to schedule an interview, and I wanted to do it in person, so I kept trying to catch him on whatever coast I was, and he was always on the opposite coast. Why do you think, I almost think more rappers died in LA than any other city in the world?
Of course.
Why do you think that is?
Because, number one, LA is more frequented, right? Because the shit be here. Like, the awards are here more than not. The weather is sunny and nice here more than not. The Hollywood lifestyle, even before rap, right? Just Hollywood in general, from, let's say, Marilyn Monroe days. Like, this is Los Angeles, man. Like, everybody thinks that, like, in all movies, they're like, the little girl's like, Dad, I want to go to Hollywood, or moving to LA. Like, it's just that thing. It's nice. It's sunny. It's the palm trees. It's the beach. It's a fucking lure of a fucking bullshit trap. I'm from here. I've been here my entire life. I rarely leave Los Angeles. People need to start respecting what this shit is on a street level. Start checking in. I'm not saying checking in like, you motherfucker, you better check in with us, nigga, or else. I'm saying, like, when I go to New York, I got people I call that I get around. Like, in New York, too motherfucking boroughy and too much shit going on, too many moving pieces. I beefed out there, and I don't know what I don't know. So when I get there, I lock in with Styles and Kiss. I call whoever I need to call. I call my Brooklyn niggas, or I got some Queens niggas, and I link up. Like, I don't want to be out there aimlessly. I'm not from New York. Still to this day, it's not about being hard. It's just about having people around you who can navigate the city, and, like, who going, ride with you and stand up with you just in case you end up in some shit, because you cannot forget who you are, where you come from, what you represent, and the industry or the game you in. And so it's just not without, like I want to say again, I don't want to slight nobody or talk about nobody after their demise, but some things are just not smart. You know what I'm saying? And if you come to LA and you're in certain spots and you're doing certain things and you have the right people around you or the right guidance, and I'm not saying I'm Superman out here or I could save everything, but I know that I could prevent life loss, with just a phone call. And not just me, there's other people and other factions of people that you can get on the phone and lock in with. You know, I think the check-in word makes people feel, you know, uneasy.
Like it's extortion or something.
Yeah, I don't need nothing from nobody. And I think that I've done more lifting for hip hop careers and hip hop and for rap than anybody else out here on a street level, because I'm always here and I'm always here and I don't never want shit.
Yeah.
I'm just looking out. It's just my good heart. So at the end of the day, it's like you come out here, just lock in with somebody. It don't got to be me. It could be Dog. It could be anybody. It could be, I don't know, Top Dog. It could be anybody. It could be you. It could be Wack. It could be anybody, bro. Just don't come out here aimlessly thinking that LA is sweet, because you have a list that you're reading off of people who have lost their lives. I don't know.
You know, the PNB Rock situation to me was crazy because, I mean, I've eaten at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles.
It was,
but then not at that one. Yeah,
what I'm
not at the
saying
South Central
is,
one. The Hollywood one, even the Inglewood one is fairly
safe. It
safe.
don't matter where it is. And it could be in Hollywood. Pop Smoke died in Hollywood.
Well, he died in an Airbnb.
But it was in Hollywood, though.
It was in Hollywood. Yeah,
so what I'm saying is,
I see what you're saying. Yeah,
Hollywood. I'm talking about distance-wise from where the hood is.
Yeah,
is what I'm saying. It doesn't matter where you're at.
It's a short drive. Yeah,
Biggie died on Wilshire.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like Wilshire runs straight into Beverly Hills, which has the most strictest police fucking force in all of Los Angeles.
In fact, I remember I went to Beverly Hills maybe like a week ago, and there was a sign that says drone surveillance.
Yes.
That's some new shit.
Right. No,
Yeah.
I mean, they got that too. But what I'm saying is that LA can be a trap, man. And not to slight Little Rock, Arkansas, or Chirac, or any borough in New York, or Miami, or anywhere. But I'm from LA, so this is what we're talking about. And LA is a trap. Even from, I've been shot in LA. I got dead homies. My sister been shot in LA, in Compton. So it's just like, just lock in, man. It's like life loss can be prevented if celebrities, athletes, locked in. Cause shit don't gotta be sideways. And it ain't necessarily, niggas don't gotta pull up with you at the Roscoe's. Niggas just gotta be like, yo, nah, that ain't it. Like, come over here.
Yeah.
Or I'll meet you there.
Yeah.
Or I'll send some niggas with you. You know what I'm saying? So some friendly. So when other niggas see, they like, oh, okay, yada, yada, yada. Like, and I'm not saying that, again, I'm not slighting anybody that met their, early demise out here. I'm just saying that it's a little bit smarter just to lock in.
Well, you talked about when you were younger, you would have your son with you, and you've gotten into actual fist fights with people, with your son right there.
Right.
You actually feel bad about that.
Stupidity. He just being young and dumb.
Yeah.
And reckless. And my son, he remembers that. And you would think that a 3-year-old wouldn't. But now he's 16. He remembers that.
It's traumatic, I'm sure, seeing your dad physically, getting into it with somebody.
Repeatedly, though. You know what I'm saying? And so they know, my kids know what's up with me. They know what type of dad they got. They know I love them wholeheartedly, and who I am. And that much isn't changing. And they know I'll die for them. And that's it.
Right, because then there was the Fox Hills Mall incident.
Right.
Where you were with your son and somebody approached you.
Yeah, but see, that shit got all like twisted. They was saying
Can you explain what happened?
We was in the Fox Hills Mall. I was with my son. I ran into, I think Ice Burgundy and a few of his homies and shit. We had some fucking words. Some words were exchanged. They left there saying that they like jumped me and beat me up and put me in the hospital, which was all cap. And then from there, we started a whole beef, you know what I'm saying? And then, rap beef. And then I think Rosemo got coincidentally, you know what I'm saying? Like with some, I don't know if it was some shit dealing with people in his hood or enemies over there, but, it had nothing to do with me and what we had going on. It was just ironic that happened. Then I caught, I saw 211 at a Wayne party, and I fired on him because of that whole beef. Just being young and reckless. I ain't got no, problems with him these days. I saw Ice Burgundy after a Drew game on, I think on Central, about to get on the freeway. I jumped out the car and just being young and reckless, man. But again, these days, like I said, 211 doing what he doing. Ice Burgundy is doing what he doing wherever he doing. I don't got no problems with those niggas unless they got problems with me. Then we can, it is what it is. It's LA shit. And Rosemo is, he dead. So I mean, we definitely ain't got no problems. And like I said, that shit ain't had nothing to do with me.
Like for example, you hear a lot of these stories, for example, in Chicago, that if, some of these guys see their ops out in public, they usually give them a pass if their kid is with them.
Right.
And it seems like LA, these passes aren't given the same way sometimes.
I don't know. I think Camouflage got murdered in Atlanta. I mean, murdered in Savannah, Georgia, back in the day with Flaugier in his hands. Wasn't he holding his daughter, and now she plays for LSU?
Possibly. I interviewed Flaugier.
Right.
Did that happen? I don't think it went down like that. I think she was still his baby mother was pregnant.
Oh, was she?
Time, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the story.
I don't know.
No, he wasn't holding her in her hands. I would have remembered that.
And Soldier Slim, no kids around. I don't remember, man.
I don't know.
Just loose.
Yeah, but it's just sad, man.
Yeah,
it's just sad.
Let's just say Vlad was the leader of a gang. I know you. You have the type of heart where you would see somebody with their son and be like, nah. So do I. I have the type of heart. If I'm beefing with somebody I saw them with their kid, it's just not the day.
Well, I just feel, even in general, the way I conduct my business, if I have beef with someone, I'm not going to talk about their kids. I'm not going to talk about their wife. And people who have done that to me have been excommunicated.
Right.
Because people have done that to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Talking about my families, whatever else. Nah,
I feel like if you bring,
I'm cool. That's my line.
Yeah, if you bring if you bring my kids or my girl into it, you got a problem. Fuck, you can say whatever you want about me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I've even told people, like, okay, listen, we got this beef. Say whatever you want about me. Leave my family out of it.
Yeah.
Next video will be all about my family. And I'm like, all right, cool, we're done.
Yeah, man.
We're done. And that's it. I don't need to compromise about that. I feel like that's.
Yeah, I wish we lived in a world where everybody got along, man. But unfortunately, it's not like that. And so if you're a man and you are pushed to a certain limit, you will have to defend yourself, man. And I think that's just the world we live in.
Well, we talked about the lawsuit that you had last time. And since that time, there was some news saying that your house was going to get seized or something like that.
When I woke up this morning, I woke up at home.
You're still at home.
Good. Yeah, and I drove here. I got here pretty fast.
Right.
And but again, at the end of the day, man, it's like that girl know that I didn't do anything to her. I didn't violate her. And if I did, then I would try to settle or do whatever I got to do or something like that. But so that's why it's drawn out. I think at some point, because I missed that court date in Chicago and she got that judgment, there might have to be a settlement. But again, I don't chase money. And so whatever that is, if it makes it go away or it does away with it, because I'm fucking tired of dealing with it, lawyers, and I don't know how many millions of dollars I didn't pay. I don't know how many lawyers it's been or how much money that's been paid out on lawyers defending this stupid shit. But it is continuous, and it's been, I don't know how many years. I think that was 2014, 15 or something like that. So we're approaching like damn near a decade on this. And yeah, I know for a fact, 100%, I was there. She was there. She knows that I didn't violate her. We had interactions after the supposed incident where she was in my face and massaging my feet and all of that. So it's just like, I just don't get the pursuit of this lawsuit. I just don't get it, man. But I don't gotta get it. And I'm at the point where if a house got seized, so fucking what? I'll get another house, bro. Like I'm not materialistic. And it's just a house. Like as long as I got my life, as long as my children are happy and my mom is good, bro, I don't give a fuck if they seize a house or a car. And none of my cars or houses have been seized. But if it happens, I don't give a fuck, man. Like I literally don't give a fuck. Get a new house.
Well, LeBron James just hit 40,000 points.
There you go. He's buying a new house.
He's buying a new house. And what's actually funny is that after our first interview, when you look at the comments, people are saying, is it me or does this game look like LeBron James dresses of blood?
I get that all the time.
They're calling you LeBlood James.
Yeah, I get that all the time.
You heard this before?
I get that all the time, man.
You do kind of look like him a little bit, especially with the way the beard is now.
I'm older than LeBron.
You are.
By a few years. So
right, but you're similar age, though.
So Bron looked like me. You know what I'm saying? But you know who else I get sometimes? I get Kevin Gates too. I don't know why, bro.
Huh. I know
that.
Kevin.
I get and you know what, Kev? Nah,
maybe a little bit.
Look,
He's more light skinned
Gates
than you.
gets me. Like people be like,
well, he's also tall and kind of similar kind of build.
Yeah, and that's my brother too, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I get LeBron.
Last question. And I'm stealing this from Nori because I was recently on Drink Champs myself.
Right.
And he throws questions to his guests, and sometimes they're the same questions, which is the one that got thrown to me and you was loyalty versus respect.
Loyalty?
Versus respect. Loyalty or respect. And I watched the Drink Champs interview this morning, and we had essentially opposite answers.
Me and you?
Yeah. You said loyalty. I said respect.
Yeah.
And my justification was this. I feel that loyalty is not a real thing. I don't expect you to be loyal to me for something I did yesterday if I'm disrespectful to you today and tomorrow. Respect has to be something you continuously have to work on. Yeah. Because I have interviewed dozens of guys, mafia guys, who people for their boss, who their own family members like Sammy the Bull, who kidnapped people, robbed, whatever else, and they all found a reason to be disloyal. They always found a reason. Oh, I was going to be loyal to them forever, but then they had sex with my wife. But then I heard that they were going to turn on me. But then they tried to do something to me. And I feel like loyalty is a very cool term, but it's not real. Whereas respect is something you have to continuously work on. And that's something you can count on.
We differ. I'm gonna stand on loyalty. You know why?
Explain.
And because loyalty is judged over a lifetime. In like a whole. Respect, disrespect can happen at any moment, any time. And someone can disrespect you or respect you and still be loyal the entire time, right? I've been loyal to my mother my whole entire life, but have I disrespected her? Repeatedly, multiple times. She could bring up shit from when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, when I was an adult, and that's the respect, disrespect part. But as far as being loyal to my mother, I think she would say that I've been a loyal son since she gave birth to me. And so that's why I choose loyal. Basically, what I want to say is like loyalty, it's like someone can be loyal to you. You know what I'm saying? Like I would say, and this is me being honest to you, me and you have been friends for 20 years. Mm-hmm. We've had a loyal friendship, loyal. Mm-hmm. You haven't done anything that was disloyal to our friendship, and neither have I to you. Mm-hmm. But maybe I said something that was a little disrespectful to Vlad once or twice or about Vlad. And maybe you said, game is, I've been knowing, but he does this and he does that. I don't give a fuck about that. But when your name was mentioned, Vlad want to interview you or whatever the fuck, I don't even remember what small little disrespect we may or may have not have done to each other, but I know that we're loyal friends. And so I sign me up because it's Vlad. Because it's Vlad. You don't see game interviews going around this month. I get calls every fucking day. Yeah. So I choose loyalty, man. And by the way, they do go hand in hand. And it is perception based because it's how you feel about one or the other. But I just choose loyalty because it's the longevity of it. It's judged at the end of life.
No, I feel you. But you and I have dealt with very disloyal situations.
That's a fact.
We talked about this earlier. People, like all those guys on your block that I met you with, at one point.
When you're disloyal though, isn't that disrespectful?
It's both, yeah.
When you're disrespectful, isn't that disloyal?
Yeah, no. So I say it's all interrelated.
No one's wrong here.
It's all, but I feel just a lot of times people will pull out that loyalty card on you because they expect you to keep doing stuff from them.
Right.
Even though they're not actually contributing to the relationship.
But that's when we pull out our card and say, well, loyalty is judged over a span of a lifetime. So you got like, I don't know, 50 years to fucking go.
Right.
So
yeah, no, I feel you.
Yeah, and so
I feel
again,
you.
we could go. I'm not saying me and you. I'm saying you and the person in question can go back and forth about loyalty all fucking day. But if you don't agree with what they're on and you say, no, I'm not doing this for you now, you can go because of this, and they can go, well, I did this, and you can be like, nah, like all day. But that's just us being just different, man. Everybody's different. Everybody is in judgment. And like I said, this is why I don't call anyone bipolar or any of that, because motherfucker, you bipolar.
Yeah.
And they say, well, you're bipolar. And I'm gonna say, I know. And so are you. But I'm not. But I am. But like, so it can go back and forth, man. But like I said, we need to be more non-judgmental people towards each other, man. And I think we would get along a lot better, everybody, across the board.
Well, I just want to leave it with this. Hip hop is very much of a young man's game. And we all caught ourselves when we were younger dissing older people. You've had, I'm trying to think, what was that line? You're
36 and you still
rapping. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And it sounds funny when you think about where we are now. You're
8 years past that.
Yeah, exactly. You're 44. I'm 50.
Right.
And
no, you're Vlad.
I'm Vlad.
Yeah, you're not 50.
Yeah.
50 is 50.
Well, I'm 50 years old.
All right, there you go. Just for anybody that was listening and actually thought that Vlad was like, I was interviewed by 50. It's wild. Vlad. It's Vlad.
He's changing his voice, right?
Right.
But it's interesting how when you're younger, you use that as sort of an insult and as a way to kind of tease the person and so forth. But then you get older and you realize that being old is a gift.
This is where I want to be. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Like, it's a gift that not everyone has.
No.
I've interviewed at least a dozen rappers that were at some point after our interview, violently, that never made it to 30, never made it to 40, didn't make it to 50, didn't make it to my age, didn't make it to half my age, didn't make it to half your age. And you have to appreciate this. Like, you have to really.
That's the return fire. When I get a smart mouth mode, I play a lot of Xbox, and you get some young cats on there.
You old ass motherfucker.
Like, you old ass motherfucker. Fuck if you won. You old. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be like, well, you probably not gonna make it to my age.
Well, not make
especially it. Especially not with that attitude.
Right. Exactly.
So again, man, it's like I feel like this is the best time of my life, man.
Right.
It's the best time of my life, man.
I mean, not only do we get this far,
I would never go back to being 20 any fucking thing.
But we're healthy, we have money, we have families. I would
never even go back to being a kid.
Nah, I'm cool.
You remember, but going back to a kid from now, like, you still gonna be Vlad, but go back to a kid and have to ask somebody, can you fucking go down the street, is crazy.
Right.
Like, I'm not fucking going back. And then I don't want to go back to my 20s because I made so many fucking dumb fucking mistakes. I don't regret them, and they made me who I am, but fuck that. I could have, got myself so many fucking times, and I just wish that I had somebody really in my ear telling me, giving me more game. My pops was in and out of jail, and we had, that type of relationship. Loved him when he was alive, no matter what. And it's my father, so I can say and do whatever. Same as my brother, same shit. But yeah, man, life is better here.
It is, and what I always think, and of course this is just a silly thought, but the 20-year-old Vlad would be so impressed by the 50-year-old Vlad. If I could just go back and tell the old Vlad, it's going to be okay. I know you're going through it now and there's so much uncertainty and you're not sure what's going to happen and you don't know what the future's like, but look at me now.
I'd have had to whoop the young game ass. Because the young game would have been like, you old bitch ass nigga. Not going to lie, man. But here we are, man. So
here we are, man. You're in your 40s. I just hit 50.
Congrats.
I celebrated in Dubai.
Beanie Siegel just hit 50.
Beanie Siegel, yeah, we're the same age. I was in Dubai at the at the Atlantis Royale, I think, where Beyonce performed for like $40 million or
That's
something.
fire.
It's just like, yo, like if you really plan out your life and you make good decisions along the way and you plan for the future, you don't just live for today, you could have a very dope life for a very long time. And it does get better over time and it does improve and you become more comfortable with who you are and you're not trying to prove things to other people and you just ease into who you are. And it's a gift. And like, look, like LA alone, there's all these people that you and I both knew that are just not around. I've interviewed and had conversations with Nipsey. I interviewed Draco. I had conversations with Pop Smoke. They're all gone. Slim 400.
How's that for you?
What do you mean?
Like, how's that for you, interviewing people? Because you Vlad, so you interview everybody, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How's it for your mental when rappers that you've interviewed and had intimate conversation with just disappear? How's it make you feel? Individually and as a whole.
I mean,
does it sadden you?
It saddens me. And sometimes I feel like maybe I should have done more in the conversation when I had that moment in time. Like FBG Duck, like in both conversations, I told him he needs to move out of Chicago. The first interview, he had shot and stabbed and so forth, telling him he needs to move out. He's, nah, I'm good. Second interview, his brother had just gotten the FBG brick. Once again, the same answer. Nah, if I go somewhere else, I'm just going to have more problems. I'm good. I know how to move. And then you find out he gets in the same city that I told him he should move out of. And it's sad because you don't know. You talk to Pop Smoke and a week later he's gone. And I remember that last Pop Smoke conversation because I called him to congratulate him on the Jack Boys project. Like he had a whole project with Travis Scott, who was like the biggest rapper in the world at that point. I'm like, damn, like you're really on your way up. Like this is amazing what I'm seeing. And like, yo, what's up with our interview? Oh, bro, I'm in LA right now. Okay, cool. I'm in New York, yo. And then he's gone. And you're just like, oh, could I have? But then again, in a way, it's like, well, the kind of interviews I do, the first time I sit down with someone is like a life story piece, like I did on you. And I feel, well, at least they got their story out there. They have a piece that their fans and their family and their friends could look at and get to know who they are. That was like, Pop Smoke's manager, we got into a whole argument over this. I was just so angry with him because it's like, he had called me to set up the interview, but then he just stopped responding. And I was like, yo, like Pop Smoke doesn't have a real interview. Like as big as he is to this day with the projects that he dropped, you don't really know who he is as a person.
Right.
He had the little spattering kind of little radio, little 20-minute interview here, there. Like we were supposed to do a real interview. They reached out to me to do it. But then his manager just got caught up with other stuff. And he was apologizing. Like, I'm really sorry. Like, I'm sorry. My phone has 100 text messages. I don't respond well. But it's like, I wish I would have had something to leave to the world because to me, this is my art. The interview is my artwork that I do. In the same way for you, it's music. And so it's a little bit of sadness, a little bit, well, at least I have something that the world could appreciate. But it's way too young. There's nothing cool about dying in your 20s at all.
Yeah, man. It's a dangerous game, no pun intended.
Yeah.
But we here.
We here. We can continue to be here.
Continue to be here and, hopefully, some young rapper who doesn't have the proper guidance or the best team around them can take from this interview and see what it looks like on both sides of the camera for people to survive beef. Because, again, there are people that survive. And again, we get back to that point that we're here. Me and Vlad are here.
That's right.
And man, peace be to the families that, of the guys who aren't, man, because that shit is all tragic to me. And even though, you know, my genre of music, gangster rap, the way that I live my life, my lifestyle, coming up gangbanging and still being a fixture in the Los Angeles street level of things, just being who I am and standing here alive, not being able to erase my past, I can truly say that, yeah, man, life is short and that people need to really get to enjoying it. Look in the mirror and really enjoy yourself with yourself for as long as you have yourself. And then let that shit outpour into the other people you care about, man, because this shit, the world tricky as fuck right now. I ain't gonna even lie, bro.
Right.
So
that's what it is, game. Always a pleasure. Till next time. Peace.